Hey everyone, Greg here. Before we get started with the episode, I just need to take a moment to apologize to you guys. Liam was absent for this session, so he asked me to record it, and I had upgraded my computer recently, and I guess it broke the recording software that I used to record the session. So essentially, what happened was that the software did not record my voice at all. So you're going to be able to hear everyone else just fine. Everything else should be good. Unfortunately, you will not hear any of my dialogue, and I didn't, unfortunately, did not notice until I went to go edit the video. So it's gonna kind of suck, not hearing, an entire character's dialogue or anything like that. And for that, I apologize. We'll definitely make sure this does not happen again in the future. And with that said, though, I hope you guys enjoy the episode and take care. Bye bye.
I was actually born ready.
Born ready to slack?
I moved the webcam again so you can't see my unmade bed anymore. Because I felt like...
no. Such distracting.
Right? It's not even... The last 15 years, I've not made my bed once.
I have never made my bed in my entire life.
I don't see the point of making my bed. No one sees this except for me.
Wow, that's
your
a bit
problem.
depressing.
Wow. The same excuse. No one sees. But I turn it off every time I get up. That's how no one sees my underwear.
Yeah,
I'm hoping this part is getting recorded. It's
it
the
can't be as bad as last week.
it's the DVD extra. Well, the newest video has like 7 views, so I don't look at the video. So no, I don't. I see it in my subscriptions. It says that. Yeah. Shame.
Right, well now that fascinating discussion is done, shall we get underway?
Well, if we can solve whether or not we cured Artorias last session.
It's going to take a little bit of a long rest.
A little bit? Yeah, just slightly. Right, so last time we saw the characters, you were making your way back through the previous region, sprinting over here to get Artorias to stand in some fire. Which he did, and after this felt significantly better about his well-being and his future. And so from here, where do you guys want to go?
I want to take the time now to take off my chainmail and put the splint mail on.
Here we go. That's fine. Anything else?
I suppose the logical thing would be to return to where we came.
Well, we need to find that tiny little bastard as well.
Oh, yes, the vendetta.
Wait, are we still mad at him? It was like a day ago. I think we can let it go. No one died.
Maybe if we shoot you with a crossbow, you can see if you're still angry tomorrow.
Well, I got pummeled by goblins. I think that's like the same thing.
Well, I mean, you're goblin size, right? So, not that much of it.
Wait, how is my size an issue here?
It's embarrassing, okay?
What, so because he's tiny, he's not allowed to shoot you?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay, sure. No. What if I cast enlarge on myself and shoot you with a crossbow? That's okay.
Perfectly
I would
acceptable.
obviously retaliate, but
You wouldn't be mad about it, is what you're saying. You just
yeah.
okay. I mean, that's the same thing, right? If I get attacked by a slightly tinier goblin, that's when I get mad. Not if anyone attacks.
Listen, and I tap her on the head. You'll understand when you grow up.
I don't want to waste a spell slot on this.
Right then, I turn to Artorius. Are you okay now?
I think so. I don't know.
I don't think there's anything else we could really do, so hopefully it's all sorted.
Right
Shall
then.
we press on?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Let's go.
Oh no, would you be so kind as to flip the maps again?
Well, that depends. Where do you want to go? Just
Right.
off to the east?
Yep.
And as you
It's gonna be
enter,
a good day. It's nice, chill, relaxing, tranquil music. Nothing could go wrong.
Yes, absolutely nothing ever goes wrong. Guaranteed. Today is going to be a good day.
A hop and a skip.
Torius, can I just have a perception check from you, please?
You may.
Mm-hmm.
Why are my things not appearing?
Okay. As you walk across the hallway, your boot snags on a chain, and you sort of kick through the chain as you're walking, and then you hear a and let me have a look. You get hit in like the chest plate, but it doesn't actually get to you with one dart. And then one hits Haldemir from the back. And Haldemir, you take a needle to the neck, and could you make a Constitution saving throw for me, please? Well, let me think about it for a while. Meanwhile, could you make a Constitution saving throw?
you can make another intelligence one on top of that if you want to.
Okay. So you stagger forward a little bit, and you feel this thing burn into your neck a little bit, and you feel that something's like seeping into your body. And you manage to pull it out and prevent most of the poison from getting in, and so you take 6 poison damage and 1 piercing damage. Yep.
That was some quick math. I'm really impressed, Greg. That's what the intelligence save was for.
It's poisonous delirium. It's 8. No, 6. What?
You know, I think it's really impressive someone went out of their way while we were gone for a few, hours to just build this trap.
It's that little dick.
You say hours, it's been like a minute. Oh, actually, no, he had to put his armor on, so.
Will we find this little guy? we're going to murder him.
Why do you assume it was the little guy who built the trap?
Did you see how high it was?
Yeah,
I've never built a trap. I say that. I think I have a hunting trap in my inventory.
Well, you don't have to have built that, of course. Just because you own one.
I guess that's fair.
I like how there's like a 10-foot safety zone around me right now. Thanks.
You're most welcome.
I mean, you've overcome a terrible curse, right? That makes you even stronger against, you know.
Don't try and butter me up, Mary.
Oh, shit, I'm stuck in the wall.
Buttering you up would take a lot of butter.
Yes. Also, you.
Where are we going on today's adventure, other than wrong?
I don't know. I'm just at the front. I'm just walking.
Right. I think we might be better off going the other way. Well, you can
What do you
keep
mean,
walking in
reset?
circles if you wish.
What do you mean some... Well, I would assume there would be reflections, right? There's mirrors in that room.
Right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Into the room.
I just let William walk in first.
Yeah, as you
Cool.
look in the room and look around, you still notice that none of you have reflections in any of the mirrors that are here.
I can't actually enter the room.
Ah, you locked us out before we got in.
Sorry. I saw William move in, so I thought it was fine.
William is a fucking wizard.
Apparently. It's those secret doors. I'll make a secret door even if it doesn't exist.
Did we ever open this door?
I don't believe so.
If only we had the new Roll20 update to help us.
Oh, you have kind of the same thing.
Well, are we going to open this one while we're here to save us coming all the way back?
You can do it, Artorias!
I wonder if there is a reason we didn't open it in the first place.
How about we open it and see?
Sure, open the door.
By we mean Artorias.
Yeah, and you push the door open, and there's just a hallway.
By the end of this campaign, we'll be so paranoid about doors, we're just not gonna open any anymore.
Just leave all the doors home.
It's my goal for each campaign, like to try and ruin one thing for the players.
I refuse to bow. I'll just take more feats for opening doors.
So what, last campaign you ruined horses for me?
I don't know, or community service,
That just made things
flying, or abbots. Pick something.
Or pacts with evil entities.
I think that worked out pretty well. You want to push open the door, Artorias?
No, I want to inspect it first.
Okay, go ahead then. Seems
It's
perfectly
a
fine.
door.
Yep, seems safe.
Yeah, I'll open it. Ooh, shiny.
How did we miss this fancy room?
The walls of this place and the ceiling look very much like the other rooms you've been in. However, the floor looks nothing like it, as it seems to be completely coated in ice. And there are 3 large metal bands that are lying in the center, sort of interlocked with each other. And as you approach, the links shift position a little bit with an audible groan of metal against metal, and then with a violent crash, they suddenly stop moving and lie still on the floor.
Did you break it, Artorias?
I think so.
Why am I not surprised?
Well, who is not wearing heavy armor and wants to go walking on the ice?
By the sounds of it, could be one for me and Halden here.
Okay, so we'll get back to you in 11 minutes. Sorry, 10 minutes.
I'll head into the room. Yeah.
Hold on, before you go, take this. I'm going to hand him an end of rope to tie around his waist.
Thank you.
Right, so you make it into the room, and could I just have an acrobatics check for me?
Can I hinder him in this?
Hinder him?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Your
mean, you
mere
could tug.
presence is a hindrance.
You could tug on the rope as he's trying to balance, I suppose.
Then I will do so.
Okay, I guess you're making it a disadvantage then, William.
I'll just let go of the rope. If he's trying to tug away at it, I'll just leave it for him.
Sure, that can work as well. Probably a good
You
thing
don't
too.
know until it's too late.
With a 16, I think it's okay. Yeah, he managed to catch himself and let go of the rope before getting caught off balance. And you make your way into the room. And about a good 5 seconds or so after you step into the room, the door slams shut behind you.
Excellent. No more distractions.
Okay, what do you want to do?
Tell me more about these rings as I look at them in depth.
Yeah, so there's 3 of them. They are not exactly round as they are displayed here. It's a little bit more complex than that, and you're not quite sure what their purpose is or why they're here. What you do notice is that it is now that, especially that the door is closed, quite damn cold in here.
Cool.
And other than just cold, you also feel, for some reason, unsafe.
Unsafe. Interesting.
Hmm.
Why would that be?
Yes, indeed. Can I have a wisdom saving throw from you, please?
You may.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not quite sure. You managed to become aware of the fact that something's making you feel weird here, and you just push it away from your mind because you want to concentrate on what you're doing.
Well, I've been watching Halden recently, and I think I've got the gist of this now. So I'll do this.
Okay. You cast that as an action, right? Not as a ritual?
I can't cast it as a ritual. It's from the Arcanist feat.
Right, okay, yeah. So you sense a rather strong aura around the door and around the bands of metal, and a weaker aura around the entire floor.
Okay, so nothing for this sense of dread or anything.
No.
Alright, let's go do stupid things and touch the rings.
Okay. And when you touch them, and they sort of vibrate a little bit, as if they're somehow aware of your touch.
Interesting. Are they to scale on there? Are they huge rings like that?
Yeah, they're pretty much that size. Yeah.
What are they made of? Are they like heavy? Can they be moved? Or
Yeah. So you. Well, there goes your ritual requirements. If you had stuff casting, you did now. They look sort of like complexly intertwined, and the weight of it, well, you didn't have to try and lift them before you know anything about that.
Yeah, well, I'll get less lifting, more just kind of like shove it with the foot kind of thing a bit.
Okay.
Get a feel of the weight.
Yeah, that's fine. So you just want to try and see if you can shift their position a little bit with your foot, and you just push it a little bit aimlessly, just in whatever direction. It works. They don't seem heavy, but you do feel that that as you touch them, it's pretty clear that the cold of the room is actually mostly caused by the rings themselves. As you take 3 cold damage.
Cool. Got frostbite on the toes.
Yeah, like even though your boots are not really wet, there's still enough moisture in there to almost make them get stuck to the surface of the metal.
Wow.
But then you manage to put away, and there's only some minor frost damage, only maybe a toe or two.
Okay. Can you remind me what you said when we came into the room? Like, what was happening with them? Did you say they were floating or moving?
Yeah, they were sort of moving around a little bit. Yeah, not really rotating or anything, just hovering in place. And then, as you stepped into the room, after about 10 seconds or so of the door being open, they fell to the floor.
Okay. Well, I'm a bit of a loss. Nothing else in this room at all.
Nope. You get the idea that from the way that they're made, possibly you just have to untangle them, or something of the sort. You know, like
Oh, like the little
one of those little
magic
jigsaw.
type things
Yeah,
that you get in a Christmas cracker.
exactly. Except slightly bigger and a bit more complicated.
Okay. Yeah, it only look like. Well, it doesn't look like they're tangled at all on the picture. But,
Yeah, I know. It's hard to draw things like that.
yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, so does it look like there's any way to disconnect them? Are there any gaps or anything?
Go ahead and make me just a straight up intelligence check. I'll see if I can give you some more information.
Okay.
I think at this point we want to try and open the door as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you're just about to think like, this is how it should, and it's like a bang. Someone tries to kick the door or put the crowbar in.
Well, so much for new introductions.
And Arturia, so you're the one trying to get the door open?
Yeah, with Isaac's help.
Okay. Can I just have the athletics check from you then, please? And a Constitution saving throw.
I love this dungeon.
All right, so you get nice and in there, and you start working on the door, pushing with the crowbar, and then you do a pretty good push, and you put all of your weight into it. And as you do, sort of like you bump your face against the door as you're shouldering the crowbar into it, and your face sort of is frozen against the door for a moment. You have to put it back, and you take 8 frost damage.
Is that from a trap?
No, not really.
Motherfucker.
He was working so hard, his tongue popped out.
Meanwhile, William, you managed to push the distraction away into the back of your head. You know that's there, but you're not gonna let it bother you for now. And you managed to start moving the rings around. You actually notice that they don't seem that cold to the touch now for some reason.
Okay.
You start moving them around, and I managed to to undo them. And as you move the links across each other, playing, you know, the was it the Doctor game where you don't touch the rings against each
Operation.
other? That's it. Well, you knew what I meant. And, you recreate that in the scenario. Manage to get them all unstuck, and as you do so, they fall to the floor, and the door opens.
Well, thank God William was in there and not Isaac.
What's that supposed to mean?
But just William has much more experience with traps and the sword.
Right.
Well, unfortunately, there's nothing to be gained from here. I seem to be in a wall again. What's going on with this map? How bizarre.
So, what was in there?
Ice. And some rings.
Did you use the chance to cool our drinks?
You can take your water skins in there if you wish, but I wouldn't recommend it.
I think we should probably leave because he got a bit pissed at the door and he's heading off.
And as you start walking away from there and you make your way back into the room that you're in now, could each of you make a perception check for me, please?
I'm really good at that.
I am insanely good.
Shit. I rolled wrong.
I'm very perceptive.
You are, yes.
That's Hildy's. I'm going to opt to take my disadvantage because I'm reading my notebook.
Thank
Okay.
God I rolled a 19 first.
Right, all of you except Isaac hear from the hallway where you just came. You hear Artorias.
Jesus.
I hear someone We hear someone calling for Artorias, yeah?
Yeah, I just hear someone calling his name coming from that hallway.
As in the one that we've literally just left.
Yes.
As in, back here.
Yeah, seems to be coming from somewhere down that hallway.
Why did everyone
That one's
stop?
fucked up.
Why are you going back?
Could be Jesus.
Who's that?
Who is Jesus?
This guy with a beard and stuff. You'd like him, Liam.
Yeah, okay. Not
Um,
sure a bearded fellow is necessarily criteria to form a friendship on, but I'll take your word for it.
I'm gonna peek round the corner and see if I can see anything.
Yeah, you peek around the corner and you just see empty hallway.
You right behind me, Isaac?
well, I mean, why are we going back in here?
Because someone was calling me.
Are you sure you haven't gone quite mad?
Probably.
Well, so you're just going there. Yeah, I mean, I heard it, but we were in that corridor and we didn't see anyone, so either there was a secret door or it's a ghost, and I wouldn't want to go anywhere where there's ghosts.
You hear once more the sound echoing from within this chamber that William came from. Artorias.
It even sounds like ghosts.
Hello?
Did I hear it as well now?
Yeah.
Right. William, explain to me how to get these funky things off if this door closes.
It's quite simple. We just need to take each of the links apart and I'll give them a brief rundown of how I did it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You want some backup in there?
Yeah. Come on.
Can I just have an intelligence check from you, Artorias?
I have no clue what William was talking about.
Well, you think you understand, but
You really don't.
Perhaps you do, perhaps you don't.
Artorias, think about it. We just cured you of a curse. Don't let a ghost or something curse you again.
And you get in there, Isaac and Artorias, and after a few seconds, the door again closes behind you.
We'll be right here!
Let's just wreck the place.
I like your thinking.
And what, dear Artorias, would you like to wreck?
I know. Stuff.
Aha. Well, you let me know when you find what you're looking for. I'll tell you how to wreck it.
I want to look at these rings then. Are they doing anything fancy?
They're not doing anything fancy, but they have knitted back together into their original positions.
I'm just gonna go, hello? Anyone here?
And all that you hear is just the echo of your own voice off the walls.
There's definitely
Maybe someone's trapped under the ice.
could
And
be.
at this point, Isaac or Torius could have some wisdom saving throws from you as
Oh,
well.
fuck.
please.
Boom.
Less boomy.
Uh-oh.
That's boom.
Enjoy that possession.
Hold on, he hits like a boss. I'm not fighting him.
Right, you suddenly are overwhelmed with this feeling of dread that William briefly experienced as well, Isaac. Except it does take a hold in your mind, and you look at the situation, you look at Artorius, and you look at this complicated-looking puzzle ahead of you, and you feel the cold sort of cutting through your armor and your meat right down to your bones, and you're a little bit scared that you might just freeze to death in here.
Oh man, we need to leave, man. I'm gonna run to the door and try and get it open
Mm-hmm. Okay. How?
with my crowbar.
Okay. Go ahead and make the athletics check.
This is gonna fucking hurt me. God damn it.
You literally didn't learn from my mistake.
Yeah, so
Nice, baby.
your feet slip a little bit, but eventually you manage to anchor them against the wall without too much problem. You start pushing on the crowbar, and they could have a con save.
It's really cold in here.
There's a lot of banging come from the other side. Are you quite all right in there?
We're freezing to death.
I told you it's ghost.
And yeah, you have a similar experience, but just you try desperately with your shoulder to shoulder the door open, and there's a nice blue patch of ice on your shoulder now as you take 5 cold damage.
Oh,
And the door doesn't seem to budge.
I'm gonna pick up the rings and try and pull them apart.
Okay. You just want to like break them, or what's the plan?
Try that option first.
Okay, go ahead and make the athletics check to try and pull them apart.
Nope.
So you grab 2 of them and you just and immediately you reckon that this is perhaps not such a great idea, as you put your hands on and you try and really grip them to pull them apart, and you just feel the cold seeping into your hands, and you just don't manage to put any strength into it. It's, you know how you wake up in the morning, your hands are still useless basically for the first 2 minutes. This is kind of the feeling you have, like they're all numb now and you can't really get any strength into them. And you take 2 cold damage.
Right, I'm going to use William's method and try and figure out how to slowly disassemble them. And recall that he was talking, but it was more like white noise.
Sure. Yeah, you can go ahead and give me an check. I would have given you advantage if you understood the instructions, but Artorius
Is it
wasn't really paying
investigation?
that much attention. No, just intelligence.
Really should use my inspiration there.
So you have a think on it for a moment. You think that you've understood how to do it, and you go to try and use the instructions that William gave you to try and get them apart. And you're a little bit careful now because your hands still hurt, and so you try and move them, but somehow you can't get it, and you just get them stuck, and you take another cold damage, 1 this time.
Which way does the door open? Is it in or out?
Right, Isaac, get a grip of yourself and come over here and help me.
really cold. We're dying, man. Okay, I'm gonna go over and help.
The door opens inwards, William.
Okay.
What do you mean? What do you need me to do?
I don't know. I'm useless at puzzles. You have a look at this, see if you can figure this out. William said something about things and something else, and oh god, I don't know. I wasn't listening to him.
I'm gonna take a look. Oh no!
The burglar alarm went off.
Have you tried pulling him apart?
Yes. Do you want to give me a hand with said task?
Okay. I'm gonna give him a helping hand.
Yeah, go ahead and make the roll again with the legs, and this time you can make it with advantage. Whichever one of you wants to take the initiative.
No. 16.
Right, so you try again, and you're like Isaac, grab that one. I'll grab this one. You start pulling, and eventually it seems that you're putting quite a bit of force on it. And with the thickness of the metal, you were perhaps expecting it to bend, but it doesn't. And you each take 3 more cold damage.
Oh, great.
I sort of jinxed it when I said at least it was an Isaac, and that didn't I?
Right, let's think about this logically.
Maybe if
Wow.
we smash the
I
floor.
never thought I would hear this.
See, when I get out of here, I'm going to kill you. Maybe I'm secretly a telepath.
I want to look if you can see anything underneath the ice.
Yeah, it looks like you stick your blade in a few points to see if you can pierce a little bit to get a view of what's underneath. You managed to crack some of the ice a little bit, and it just looks like there's there's dungeon floor like you've seen in every other room.
Okay, how about this? We light the fire and we melt all the ice.
Sounds like a plan.
Do you have anything that burns?
Yes, I do.
Oh, here it comes, here it comes.
Can I have a con save from both of you as you've spent some time within the room now, please? Okay. Yeah, Torres, you also feel that the cold is taking hold of you a little bit. Isaac, after some hard work, you managed to feel a little bit of warmth again within you. And you get the idea, though, that if you stay here for too much longer, it's probably going to wear on you pretty quickly.
Okay, I'm gonna take out the sleeping bag that I took, the smelly one, and I'm just gonna light it on fire in a corner. Like, no, there, right there.
Yes, I'm starting to get that impression actually. Having a look at the door, is there like any gaps or anything around the door?
Doesn't look like it. No,
Not even like the slightest hairline crack or anything.
it's a door much like the other doors that you've seen, except it's now covered in like a sheen of frost.
I'm going to put the bolt of purple silk on top of the fire as well.
Okay.
That's fire.
Just ignore that.
Okay. Well.
I'm trying to fix it in the inventory, but it won't fix itself.
Okay. You set some other stuff on fire. It creates a pretty nasty, unnatural smoke in this place. And it takes a bit of time as well to get it to light up, because fabric doesn't really burn that well. It needs something.
I have oil.
Okay. So you would like try and set it on fire. Just use a tinderbox to light your torch on fire, and then after that try and set the bedroll and the fabric on fire. And you get the idea that probably the bedroll was made a little bit to be flame retardant, not to catch fire immediately. But after Artorias gets some oil out and just remove like 1 pint of oil for this, Artorias, you then manage to get the fire going. And as I said, the room quickly fills up with a nasty kind of smoke.
How tall is the ceiling?
It's about 10-15 feet.
Okay.
So there's a bit of headroom.
Okay. I honestly think they could be dying in there now. Does anyone have anything? Hildy, try and help them get the door open. I heard someone banging a minute ago.
Right, Isaac, give me a hand trying to unlink these things the proper way then.
Right. Well, at least it's a bit warmer now.
Yeah, the area directly around the place where you set the fire is starting to to melt a little bit. This then extinguishes the fire a little bit, but eventually the heat of the fire evaporates the water, more smoke generation, and yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go and help him try and figure out this fucking thing. Fucking Dumb and Dumber thing.
Let's just hope there's a way in the room for the smoke to escape.
Because he's helping me, do I get advantage?
You do, yes.
Yay!
Well, let's say that if he actually has a decent enough roll, just make an intelligence check, Isaac, and if it's above a 10.
Oh, evil,
Go
evil
ahead.
man.
Use your inspiration, goddamn you.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my determination for this.
Double 9 coming up.
All right. Yeah, so you eventually managed to take some time to think it through, and together you managed to figure out the right way to do it.
I mean, that wasn't so hard.
We made a fire. Everything's better for it.
Well,
And perhaps the warmth was just what you needed to get some clarity of thought back, or at all. And you managed to get them unstuck. And as you do, they fall to the floor as you let go of them, and the door opens.
Ah, there you are.
smoke billows out the door.
Yeah, quite a nasty smoke that comes your way.
Right then, that's that. Let's go.
Did you find the mysterious voice?
Yeah, we burned him.
Oh, okay, good job.
That's the right way to deal with ghosts.
Is it?
Yep, we lit a fire, and that's all that matters.
I mean, is it? Probably not.
Let's just go.
Let's just get out of here.
All right,
This room.
what about this one to the south?
Yeah, William, go in there and find out what it's all about.
Okay.
Yeah, they're discs on springs. There's no mention of mines, but if you want to think they're mines.
Right. Someone just get some healing ready, just in case, please.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
I turn into a spider and I just go around the edges.
You mean all this time you can do that?
That's not really a suggestion, more a demonstration, but aside from the pedantics, good idea.
Well, I'm suggesting I'll do it.
Well, you're being volunteered now. Well done.
Okay, I turn into a spider and I go around the walls.
Okay. So you go around the walls and you can just move in there, and you see a door on the other side of the room.
Okay, well, is there a way to get through this door as a spider without opening it?
Yeah, just give me a perception check and see if you can find a crack somewhere.
I heard spiders are really perceptive. Which might way, but perception you said, yeah, that starts P perception.
Yeah, you have a look around. You wander around a little bit. You notice that there's no keyhole, so that would be the first obvious thing. And you then manage to find that there's a very, very small crack just at the top of it. You have to go through a bit of the stonework, but you manage to just squeeze through to the other side of the door.
And what do I find?
Darkness.
Well, fuck. Okay, I'm gonna regret this. I'll turn back into Mary,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna light a torch. That's just a corridor.
Yeah, what you notice as you step in here is that the corners of this this corridor, a little bit rounded, as if something's worn the edges of them away over a long period of time.
That doesn't sound good at all. That sounds like a giant worm or something. But I'll just open this door here.
Yeah, give me a sec.
Now, what I've noticed, I'd have to use another wild shift back.
Yeah, you slide the door open and it just opens towards you.
It's just a corridor.
But what's down the corridor?
Well, do you want me to check?
Could be wise.
Okay.
Could also be a terrible idea. Just saying.
Oh god.
It probably is, but
What do I see at the end of this tunnel?
Can you see that? No, I can't see your vision range.
I can't see the weird spot thing on the ground.
Okay, you see some rubble basically with a few glistening specks here and there. You're gonna have to get a little bit close to really see what's going on.
Okay, I get closer.
Okay, and as you step closer, and the torchlight actually does more than just reflecting off of the surface. You see that both the walls and like the center of this room are quite rough. They're not actually like finished dungeon walls. There's like ore and stuff, and the floor of this whole room is just filled with mounds of dirt and rubble, as if something has been excavated. There's picks, there's some shovels, and there's some bones of small goblinoids here. And you see that within the rubble and also on the walls, there's some flecks of gold here and there.
Okay. William,
yes.
they were mining gold in here.
Oh, okay. Nothing more exciting?
I think gold is plenty exciting.
If you say so.
Well, it's more exciting than just an empty room, isn't it?
Well, yes, there is that, I suppose. Should we make our way across then?
Well, there's no way to go from
You
here.
can go on ahead.
Hildy, pass me the end of your rope.
There's literally nothing other than that in here. There's no other door.
I see.
I'm
I'm a little
telling-
confused here. We say it's exciting, but also...
Well,
nothing.
if you don't think like a mining operation for gold is exciting, then you shouldn't come here because there's nothing else.
Well, very well. Everyone else? Thoughts?
I'm not going across those desks.
I mean, can you eat gold?
No, what?
I wouldn't recommend it.
No.
I think we're moving on, Mary.
Well, I'm gonna use my second short rest usage of Wild Shape to turn back into a spider. And go back.
Mm-hmm.
So, in your travels in this place, have you found like a shop or something?
No, not yet.
Oh, figure.
I'll drop some torches in there for you, William.
Thank you.
I mean, I would expect property values in here to be really low, but I can't see anyone opening a shop here.
It's probably not a vast amount of business.
We have come across a like decent amount of humanoids, haven't we?
Are there snakes in this pit again?
No, there aren't.
You've killed the snake ecosystem of this dungeon.
Let's do the old rope thing. I'll climb down. And then we'll climb up the other side.
Yeah, if you're gonna do some climbing, then could I have some athletics checks from each of you, please?
More like
I'm gonna tie the rope that I took with me to the pit, and that's probably still there.
I'm gonna shimmy across with acrobatics.
Go for it.
Well, I'm not
Great job.
doing that apparently.
Apparently not.
I think I should have advantage because I'm tiny.
What?
I'm small. I fit better.
Nice.
Oh, I'm in the hole.
I'm gonna try and catch Mary.
Do I take falling damage?
Yes, you do.
What does it? It's forward
you're-
catching.
Yeah, just give me a sec.
Catching.
If the rope's being taken, then yes.
No, I tied it back up.
Ah, okay. Yeah, in that case, just to get out. Yes, Mary, you take 7 falling damage.
There's a lot of falling damage.
Can I try and catch her?
I think you were already trying to make your way across, and she was going around the outside. So
Oh, I was down here.
That's okay. I can just turn into a bear. Oh wait.
okay. And William, you're also trying to go around the outside.
I did.
Around the outside, and you take 8 falling damage as you slip and fall in.
Can I try to catch him?
I wouldn't recommend it.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
Try and climb out the other side.
Yeah, so Artorius, you're fine for climbing. Isaac, you're fine for climbing. William, you struggle a little bit getting up there.
That was Hildy's roll to go down.
Okay. Mary is at a severe disadvantage getting back up.
I'll try and remember to change my thing.
Well, not just the hand. No, it's far too deep for that. Like, I don't think the hand stretches 8 meters.
Just like hold down the sword and you just hold on to it.
Grab on the sharp edge of the sword. Yeah.
I'm
Although
just gonna chuck down the second rope and help them climb up.
Yeah. So as you see them struggling, you eventually chuck down the rope again for them, and then Mary and William and Hildy manage to make their way up as well. Yep.
Right then. I can't remember which way.
It's north. Because the zombie dogs are in on the right.
You can think that they're zombie dogs if you want to, but there was no proof of that.
The zombie dogs. My intelligence score, they're definitely zombie dogs.
Okay. Yeah, you saw dogs. I mean, it might be, but there's no proof whatsoever so far that they were. I'll deny your allegations of being zombies. Yeah.
Are we going north or are we going back to the map room?
You've been north. There's one of the griffin doors.
Knew which way we was going.
There's a griffin door, is there?
There is a griffin door.
Isn't that funny though?
Right. I'm going to be ready in case there's a douchebag with a bow and arrow.
It was a crossbow, so that doesn't count.
Technically, no. If your reaction would be set up against the guy with the bow and arrow and he's holding a crossbow.
Touche.
How is that any different?
Well, it would be a crossbow and a bolt, first of all.
Well, the thing is, right, if you're ready for a bow, a crossbow implies that it is part bow, isn't it?
There's still a string on it. It counts.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you have to kind of be ready for a bow and it would work, but you can't be ready for a bow and arrow. Because
I'll be ready for any prick with a ranged weapon then.
Well,
I
you
deal
can
with
use,
daggers.
you can throw a dagger, so that's still a ranged weapon.
Debatable.
Want to hold a vote?
Nah, it's not a democracy.
Well, then no use having a debate, right? Well, last time he came when William was copying the map, right? So maybe we can make him come by copying the map again.
I was
Maybe
going
it's
to
like-
say, does William want to finish his map off?
You know what? I thought we had, to be honest, before we moved on.
No.
Not really, no.
You came to help us out.
1/3 of the way through.
I thought we did all that. And oh, I wasn't here for the next bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Then yes, I would love to, and obviously we'll do such a thing. And
gonna
I've got
close
Hill
the
just
secret
stuck in a wall
doorway.
at the same time.
Yeah, it's because you keep on moving us too. Just don't do that.
But it takes twice the time.
Oh no. So you sit down, you start copying the map.
Yeah.
And what the rest of you want to do?
Rest.
Are these benches or bookcases?
Benches.
I'ma sit my ass down on a bench.
Well, however long it'll take William to make a copy of the map.
Yeah, maybe an hour or two.
So it's a short rest, yeah? Well, here's my wild shape again.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a short rest either.
Okay. Before you start doing your recharging stuff.
Why do I bother clicking the thing? Where's the halfling with the crossbow? Yeah, that's.
You should probably wait until I tell you that it's ready before.
Well, you didn't say anything once we said short rest, so I was like, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, perhaps you should ask.
Well, okay. Hit me with the crossbow, do it, Arne.
And I guess Haldemir, you're in the best position too. Could you have a perception check for me, please? Okay, you hear some sound coming from the other side of the secret door down the hallway. Sounds like some shuffling of feet. No, it sounds like they're leaving, actually.
Probably let them leave then.
Just don't tell Isaac about that.
What? Pardon me. Oh shit!
I get off, drag out my sword, and fucking run after it.
I get right the fuck away from the door. Just drop the map and get away. That shit's gonna blow right up.
Yeah, I mean the secret door is open, so you can just.
Oh.
Come here, you little shit!
And I run.
Okay. I foresee wolves in your future.
What?
Right, so you run. Up to where do you wanna go?
Till at least this corner.
Okay, you round the corner and you see that just on the edge of your light source there seems to be a furry kind of humanoid shape leaving in that direction.
I shout, "There's someone here!" and I chase after it.
Okay. Then the first thing you hear is that as you run, you snap a wire.
Oh, great.
And you probably would have noticed if you were paying attention, but since you're in such a hurry, you didn't actually see. There's like a large log that was strapped to the ceiling.
I mean, I usually check the ceiling, don't I?
Yeah, not now though.
Does he get a chance, as I specifically mentioned, that there's probably something that's about to explode down there or something?
Do you get a chance to what?
You know, like at least a minor chance to notice it.
Oh no, I don't think he's got any chance to.
Okay.
Like if he was actively looking around, maybe, but with his passive perception and his hurry.
I tried.
What's your AC, Isaac?
16.
Okay, you get slammed right into the chest.
Oh, great.
And there's like this log, maybe 20 kilos or so swings down from the ceiling, hits you full on in the chest, and you get like knocked back to the rocks behind you. And you take 9 bludgeoning damage and you fall prone.
Oh, fuck me that.
And there's like a nice round dent in your chest.
I turn to Artorias. No, I really hate that little bastard. Mm.
I secretly smile to myself because the little people won.
Artorias is just standing there laughing his fucking ass off. Like, oh!
It wasn't me for once.
I think it got away.
Isaac, I think
Let me give you a hand up.
really doesn't like
Thank
you.
you. It seems so, doesn't it?
Wait, are you just giving him a hand or are you laying on hands?
Nobody will know.
Well, fucking... Okay, I cast healing then, sure. Just not me do it. Here, have some cure wounds.
Ooh, thank you. So, maybe we should just do the map thing. I mean,
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, a short rest attempt number 2. Let's do this.
I turn back around,
we're going back then, I guess.
and I will go and hide there.
Okay.
And I ready an action to attack anything that crosses like there.
Sure.
And by comes a merchant carrying
What? No, of course not from that side. I'm not that dumb.
Right, so you start waiting for waiting for someone to come around the corner. The rest of you just want to have a sit down and relax. And Isaac, could I have another perception check from you, please?
Another? Fuck!
Alright, so the rest of you sit there, and as William is drawing, and there seems to be very little happening, as area around you seems to stay quiet. About an hour or so passes, and William's halfway through his map drawing. By now, of course, you can complete your short rest.
Does the map making count as strenuous activity?
No.
Does holding an action to attack someone consider?
Yeah, I mean, you're not resting. Right?
Yeah.
You're just standing there ready, sword drawn, ready to attack. And after an hour, nothing happens. Maybe you're reconsidering. I don't know. I'll leave that up to you.
Oh no.
Okay. Right, so an hour passes. Everyone just keeps going.
Well, now that we've short rested. 5 HP, yeah.
Is my charisma recovering any?
Nope. Okay, you sit there for about another hour as William's working on finishing the floor plan. And eventually, time passes quietly. It's kind of boring for the most of you, as you know, you recovered most of your strength after like half an hour or so, and then you're just waiting and waiting and waiting. As William is drawing away, making sure to catch all the detail that he deems necessary.
He's having a whale of a time.
Yeah, William's
Isaac
having a
is
blast.
standing there. In his head, he's like thinking of the head going clean off whatever comes next through coming past this corner. He's so ready. You know, simple things.
William, I've made a copy of the map available to you specifically.
Thank you.
Of course, with the added difficulty that you're still gonna have to explain to your party.
Yep.
You could show them every
Not
now
that they'll ever listen.
and then. Well, I can't fix that for you, neither can your feet. Right, so second hour passes, William is done. I don't know if you're actually letting anyone know that you're done, or whether there's more work.
Yeah,
to be
I'll
had.
take the time to like catch up on my notes from earlier. Yeah.
I guess after 15 minutes or so, that someone catches you, like having put the map away and glancing at your books, like, what's going on?
No, I was just drawing out the legends. I'm done now. Let's move on.
Hmm.
Well, where
But
do
you
we
better
wish to
come
go?
up with an insightful answer now. Where to go? Did we ever open this door?
Yeah, we did.
What was in there?
Ammo.
Just a
Stuff.
small room.
Stone desk, stone chair, and a bookcase.
Okay. Well, please, after you, Torius.
Can I just open that door just to double check there's nothing in there so I can retorch it? Seems I must have missed that.
Yeah, I think, if I recall correctly, you set the place on fire. That's why you closed it afterwards.
Oh, fair enough.
That does sound like us.
Yeah, who does that?
You're asking me?
What sort of people just set things on fire?
Yeah.
No, it was a trap,
That's
and the trap got triggered. Stuff burned. All the books burned. William was in despair for a brief moment, and then that was that.
why did we do X is actually what Anna asked himself when he goes to bed that night.
Right, let's move on.
I was really hoping that would fool him.
You tried.
Yeah, and William, you see that the log's been raised up again.
Whereabouts, sorry?
How the fuck did I not hear that?
But here?
I probably did that, you know.
One moment. There's another trap here. Cunning little bastard. Can I attempt to activate it or disable it?
Activating's not that hard. You can just walk through the tripwire.
Yeah, disable is a better word. So I'll tell people to just stand back and I'll lay on the floor and cut the tripwire with a knife so the log goes overhead.
Yeah, that's fine. So you lay down and you snip the tripwire and log swings down. You get the idea that now that you see the log in action, William, there's absolutely no way that a halfling would have managed to push this thing back up towards the ceiling. Far too heavy.
Okay.
Maybe if you had a
Perhaps-
winch or something, but at least not by
Perhaps
hand.
not the halfling, unless magical in nature, perhaps. It could be something else down here.
This is the room with the wolves in it. We never actually explored what was the other side of it.
Let's check it out.
Nothing. It just leads up.
Yeah, you step inside and immediately it's pitch black. You can't see anything.
It's one of those shit rooms.
It just leads through to that little corridor.
What about this room?
It's another box room. You can have a look.
Do you want to check the door?
Sure.
Meanwhile, I would like to just shimmy.
It's perfectly fine.
High quality room.
Although saying that, if it's traps, I get advantage.
Yeah, it's still perfectly fine.
Cool.
I will open the door.
Yeah, you slide the door open, and perhaps somewhat to your surprise, is like a huge pit, like right into the into the center of this room. And as you try and like stand on your toes to peer down it, you can see nothing but darkness. You can see that against the north wall, there's a corpse of a bugbear, and there's a pretty sizable axe clutched still in its hand. And in the other corner of the room, to the west, you can see that there's a sword which seems to be sunk halfway through the floor, with just the like the half of the blade and the pommel sticking out.
Excalibur.
And there's some weird, perhaps some geothermal effect or something. There seems to be quite a bit of wind coming through the pit.
Well, what do we think?
It could be an exit.
I want to look at the sword.
Yeah, let's have a go at this.
Yeah,
Isaac,
there's a
hold-
bugbear corpse with an axe still sort of half in hand. No, it looks like a pretty big axe.
if you take the rope, I'll take a run and jump across the pit.
Right.
I could do that whole spider thing again.
Okay, so he needs a running start, so I'm just gonna stand here and let him run from the other room.
Okay.
And the second he passes me, I'm gonna like step forward, so I'm ready to brace him if he actually falls.
Yep, that's fine.
It's like the two heaviest characters doing it. Doesn't strike me as brilliant, but
If William was more petty, he would have tripped him for payback earlier.
He goes running full speed past the two doors, and he just like whoop.
I can fly.
It just slides face first down into the pit.
Come back as a zombie and kill him.
Revenant, I'm sure. Right, so you you don't trip him. He makes the running jump, and he like jumps over this this cliff, and I think you can just about make that, right? I think that's about your clearance.
Yeah.
And so you clear it, and you're just about to land, and you think, "Whew, made it!" As you as you're expecting solid ground underfoot. What happens is that you do experience solid ground for about 1 instance, and then something beneath your feet gives way. And at this point, could I have athletics check, please, from you, Isaac?
No, great.
Okay, so you're just standing there, but immediately the rope tugs on you, and you manage to just put your boot against the door quickly enough to to grasp on. And so what happens is that he swings a little bit as he falls over the edge of the cliff and then hits the side. But that greatly reduces the amount of falling damage he's going to take. Darius, you take 1 damage as you swing against the side of your pit that you're now in, as Isaac just about manages to catch you.
Are you okay down there?
Cheers, bro.
You immediately also hear a clink, clink, clink beneath you as the sword that was apparently stuck between the doors of the trap has fallen into the pit.
I'm gonna lower you down to the sword now.
Yeah, sounds good.
I start lowering him.
Yeah, and so you lower him. Let me just see how much rope you have.
I have 50 feet.
Yeah, so you have 25 feet or so left for him to go down.
Well, it depends. It didn't he swing towards? Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Just
to
a
the bottom of
second
the pit,
hold up.
so-
Okay, yeah.
And so
And
you,
also I turn to Hildy and I tell her,
Maybe you should help me brace in case something happens. Basically, I want to.
So you're lowered about. Yeah, that's fine. Elder can help. You're lowered into the pit, about 25 foot down, Artorias, and you can't really see the bottom yet. You get from the sound that probably it's again probably about another 25 foot or so down.
Can you reach it?
No, it's about another 25 foot.
Anyone else got a rope?
You. Yeah.
I believe there is another one.
You guys do that. I'll just hang here.
Okay, so I want to tie another.
Normally, I would say that you'd have to raise him back up to get some slack on the rope, but with a 27, I'll allow you to have some.
Yeah, I'm
loose
just
rope
basically
behind.
I'm holding it, and then maybe Hildy can tie the next bit of rope on the end.
Yeah, that's fine. So you managed to
feel
tie
like
another piece of
Batman.
rope to it.
Alright then. Here we go. Start lowering him again.
And you slowly lower him, and eventually you are lowered to the bottom of this pit. At this point, any light is completely gone. You see nothing, as even the room above looks completely dark now. But you do feel your boots touch the ground below you.
Alrighty then.
Okay. I don't know what you're doing with that, really.
Basically, as I'm being lowered in, as my feet touch the ground, I want to use that to know if there's any undead.
No, you don't. You don't seem to have any anything register on your senses.
Well, I'll have a fumble about and try and find the sword.
Okay.
In fact, I can light
investigation
a.
at a disadvantage, or you can light something if you want to.
Yeah, I'll light a torch.
That's fine. Just remember to keep on removing the torches as we do these things, because I think you will eventually run out of the non-ever burning ones at least.
We brought a 40 with us each.
Yeah,
On like a cart.
I'm pretty sure that you've used like 25 by now if you would have kept track properly.
Right,
I think we have 4 ever burning torches anyway.
I've only ever used one torch, and that was this session.
Okay, just saying.
I've got 7 left. I can provide those to someone else if they want them.
Right, so you have a look around. Could you give me an investigation check without disadvantage then? Just a normal check.
I am going to use my inspiration.
Is he currently investigating to see if he sees the giant spider that is staring right at him?
And I rolled like ass.
Perhaps. Okay, so you start looking around, and perhaps worried about something evil nearby you, and so you start looking around to see if there's anything just above you or on the walls next to you, and then you almost trip and hurt yourself on the sword, but you manage to catch yourself and you found the sword, and there doesn't seem to be anything sinister on the walls here.
Oh.
I will pick up the sword and then sort of tug the rope to say I'm ready to come up.
Are you ready to come up?
Yes.
I'm gonna start pulling him up until there's my helper.
Yeah, Hildy assists.
Yeah, can I have another athletics check then with advantage?
Oh, great!
Right, so you manage, and you have a bit of a scare as at some point, maybe Hild is like, "Ah, Isaac's fine, he can handle it. I've seen him do this before," and she's talking to William about something for a moment, and then the rope nearly slips. So could I have an acrobatics check from either of you to, so that's from Hildy and from Isaac to try and catch it.
I'm fairly no. I don't know what a modifier is.
Yeah, just both make it as you both try
okay.
individually.
Which one did you want, sorry?
Acrobatics, please. Yeah.
It's fine.
That's probably useful.
And Hildy just sort of like haphazardly sticks a hand out to try and catch it, and it's like, it's fine. I'm sure Isaac's got it. Isaac grabs the rope and prevents Artorius from plummeting to the ground, smacking against the wall. And as you're now being raised up, you don't actually fall. You just lower a little bit, and you have a bit of a scare as suddenly that feeling of falling overtakes you. But soon after, you just feel tension on the rope again, and you're pulled up the rest of the way.
Well, that was fun.
Seems it.
And could I just have a perception check from you, Artorius, as you're slowly being helped across the edge here? The axe is on the north end of the thing, next to a goblin, to a bugbear corpse. No, just to the north of that, actually on the ground surface, let's say. So, yeah. And you notice that the axe actually seems to be glowing slightly.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go and get that, aren't I?
It'll be hard without the running start.
I could still standing jump. Like,
Do you want me to try and go
19
around the
feet.
edge? I might be a bit lighter for lifting purposes.
I can literally turn into a spider.
And it looks a bit too heavy for that.
it's 16 feet, so how far can you standing jump?
Let me check. And just give me 1 sec, guys. Maria just landed in Greece after her flight, so I'll be AFK for 2 minutes.
You can tie a rope around me and throw me across the pit.
That sounds so fun.
I want to do that.
Yes, I haven't seen gnome tossing since my time in the village. Good sport.
Don't use your spell slots.
Oh, she's a gnome?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yes, a child gnome.
Oh, no! No, a child gnome would be smaller than this.
I am
Smaller than
terribly
that?
sorry. I thought you were a child.
It's okay, Isaac. I know you're trying your best.
I am.
How come he gets away with it? I'm just fucking stupid.
It's a good thing you realized.
So how far do we reckon we can throw a gnome?
We'll have to wait for Anna for the physics of gnome tossing.
Why is that? Fuck you, PDF mother dope shit.
Yeah, run and jump is 10 feet of movement, and you can move your full bonus. Standing jump is half.
Hello. People decided to go for a break.
Okay, so you can jump 10 feet then.
Be right back.
Yeah, which isn't far enough. But if I took a run and jump, like came out this angle,
I mean, you're probably just gonna crumble the fucking floor again.
and more than likely, but sure, hey ho. If I got a run and jump at it at an angle, I could clear to the corner.
I'm confused. Did Donna come back and leave again?
No, he's still there.
He's actually not there.
Oh, I thought I heard him.
Yeah, I definitely heard him.
Do you have all webcams turned off? It's literally
Yes.
just his share right now.
Just
Maybe speaking to us through our minds.
I mean, he's
wouldn't
done
put
that
it past
before,
him.
but I don't think he's doing that right now.
Do you not already have a glowing battle axe, Isaac?
Yeah, I do. Why? I was actually more interested in the sword, to be honest.
Yeah, the sword did seem like kind of cool, but we've got it now.
But I mean, I don't know. Maybe she could use an axe. Point to Tildy. Hey, you look quite nice.
We missed you, Anna.
Aw.
Okay, we currently have two options. Gnome tossing, which involves tying a rope around me, throwing me across the pit.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be possible?
Sure. We'll just have an attack roll and see. It's called a 15 or higher. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, let's do gnome tossing.
Well, this is going to go well.
Can I help?
I want to do it. I want to do it.
I'll help you take one arm and like.
How about
take
you
the
take
other.
2 arms and I take 2? Oh, she's gonna land awkwardly if we do it
Yeah.
like that.
I take one arm, and grab her by like the belt buckle, and you do it from the same side. We do it on 3.
Please remember that I'm not a cat. I don't always land on my feet.
Oh.
You'll be fine.
Okay, I pass the rope to Hildy and tie the other end around Mary. Right then, let's go. 1, 2, 3.
3. What are we rolling?
Just an attack roll without proficiency, but with your strength. So just a strength roll, basically.
Are you sure these two idiots are not proficient in gnome tossing?
Quite.
Just.
I'll take this with advantage because Isaac's helping.
Is it with advantage?
Yeah.
Okay, God, thank God.
Yeah, so they just throw you across. So can I just have an acrobatics check from you, Mary, to see if you land on your feet or not?
What if I wild shape into a cat?
Why? The
What
rope
about
is
it?
gonna slip off your form, you motherfucker.
Okay, never mind. But that would have been cool. Well, I would have turned back once I've landed. Acrobatics. I use inspiration. Obviously. On the roll, yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's confirmation bias, isn't it? Okay.
I feel like there might be a slight conversation to be had about confirmation bias at some point.
I pick up the axe.
Yeah, you sort of have to put it a little bit because the bugbear's hand is sort of gripped around it in rigor mortis a little bit. You managed to get it loose. And seems to have a soft dim light shining around it.
Okay, I'm now gonna shimmy across with the. No, that's really stupid. Well, they have the rope in case I fall. We're gonna try to shimmy across with the axe.
Okay, one more.
Put the axe in the belt loop.
I think if Mary puts it in the belt loop, it's gonna hit the floor and just drag behind.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Big axe. Acrobatic. Oh, look at that!
You're fine. Maybe the axe even helps your balance a little bit.
I should keep the axe. No, I hand it to. I hand it to Artorius.
Thanking you.
Right then, let's inspect these two beauties.
Because there's no fucking way Haldemir has identify magic item or whatever the spell is called. Because he has none of the spells we actually need. Your mistake is trusting Anna.
I just want to know like the basic weapon types of them, though, not their enchantments.
Yep, that's fine. The axe is a great axe. And the sword is a bastard sword.
I'm sure using that.
Well, it did look like a pretty great axe.
Bastard sword. That's an exotic weapon, right? That's not in the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bastard sword's
Correct.
awesome.
So you would need proficiency to be able to use it properly.
Yeah.
You can still use it, but then you don't have proficiency. So-
What about any room numbers or anything I need to write down for them?
Yeah, B23.
Turn up.
There we go. They're in the inventory now.
Down to the left, please. I'll take a look at the door.
Once you have a look, and it seems to be fine.
Okay. I will open said door.
And there's a small narrow hallway just beyond.
I know. Gonna check the top door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead and roll for that one. Go. You have a look at the room, and you notice that it's locked.
Okay. I will make an attempt at dealing with said lock.
Yep, go ahead.
Get my kit out and have a play around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have a fiddle with it, but you don't seem to be able to get it open.
Well, Isaac Artorius might be a shoulder job.
Nope.
After just bash into it, it's like hitting a wall. Doesn't budge.
Right. Well, let me take a look at the bottom door then.
Yeah, and again, you notice that it's similarly locked to the north one.
I'll see if this lock happens to be easier.
Uh-huh.
Mary, there's a small corridor down here. It doesn't go very far. Would you take a quick look just to scout it out?
I look at the corridor. What's it look like?
A narrow corridor.
It looks like a narrow corridor, William.
Yes, I'm quite aware. If we go down it, that'd be ever so useful.
I go down the corridor.
Down, right, and then right again.
Okay, I go.
Stage right or right?
There was hair on my tongue. I don't know where it came from.
Meanwhile, Artorius notices you getting your tools out again, and says, "Oh, come on!" and just bashes against the door and manages to
Okay,
break the lock.
I guess from Mary's perspective, this would be right. And then I go right again, which I'm here. Which
Yes,
is
and you find yourself in a very dusty, dusty hallway with a layer of dust, maybe an inch or so thick. So you're kicking up quite a bit of dust as you're walking, and you have to cover your mouth and nose a little bit not to inhale it.
Is
Other
there
than that, it's very featureless.
well, okay. I guess I'll go this way then. It's obviously the better choice. You do the Artorias bit first. After that, I'll kill myself by opening the door.
Sure. So you bash the door open, Artorius, and you smell that immediately. There's a strong scent of decay filling the air in the hallway now that this door has been opened. It's pretty overpowering, actually, to the point where it feels like it's a little bit oppressive in your lungs. And the stone walls here are covered in like decaying moss, and there's like dark stains of vegetation everywhere. And just across from the door on the far side of the room, there's a pedestal and there looks to be like an ornate scroll case on it. Interesting as that might be, I see Haldamir's face light up. The stench of the room really threatens to overpower you. Yeah, so you get in front and direct your mage hand to try and pick the scroll case up. And as you lift the scroll case from the pedestal, you hear a as there's quickly visible. What happens is that there's quite a large amount of gases released all around the room. Yeah, your mage hand is holding it. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh wait, is this happening? Oh, I thought it was gonna be precedent.
Yeah, after you're done with your action of moving the hand, that's fine.
Second level spell slot for that. Could have been prestidigitation of how you pronounce that, but he doesn't have that kind of magic.
Now, also, I rule that cantrips usually don't have mechanical strong effects because that's why they're cantrips. They shouldn't. Just let me check some.
Let's say that these things are he'll
Okay,
never
you do
get.
get to make a Constitution saving throw though, because moving it and using it is an action as a wizard. So, could have the Constitution saving throw first, and then you get to blow the thing away after.
No, you actually did get it.
Oh, it's actually 22.
Right, you like you see this coming towards you, cover your mouth. You then ask your mage hand to come and drop this thing off near you, and immediately start casting another spell as you blow a gust of wind into the room. And what exactly do you want to do with it? Because, well, yeah. Okay.
I think we just want to shut the door and get the fuck away.
Yeah, just like.
I'm gonna shut the door.
Isaac's throwing a bone.
Yeah, so you just reach in and try and shut the door. Can I have an athletics check just to see if you can get into the if you can overcome the resistance of the wind? Yeah, I mean, I guess you're pointing it in front of you, right? So there's no sculpting then. So the way sculpting works is that if you were to hit like the room you're standing in with a fireball, you can do it. But since this is literally like how your gust of wind looks. Yeah, if they were to be in it when you hit it.
But they're going in it. That's what.
Yeah, that doesn't work like that.
Okay.
If you put it down, you can't then change it to not affect it. Like you're choosing the square they're standing in as a
Exception.
What did you want me to roll?
Just an athletics check to overcome the wind. To see
Isn't that the saving throw?
No, that's to be blown away. I think it's reasonable to assume that. Okay, so it's fine. He manages to shut the door.
There's a lot of crit.
Pull it closed.
I only crit and crit fail in this game. It's fucking amazing.
I was about to say, what's with your rolls today?
No, it's been like that the entire show.
The next rat we come across, you throw away your sword.
It is, yes.
Hold on,
Yeah, I mean your mage hand's just hovering next to you, I think, or is that concentration? I don't think so, right? No, it's not concentration. No, so it's just hovering there next to you, so you can just. Yep, that's fine. Yeah, just note down a scroll from B19 in that case.
Well, where to next?
Mary's just checking somewhere.
Yes, let's skip over
With
to
my lithe form and light armor, is it possible to squeeze through this space as well?
You can squeeze through, yes. It's just
I'll,
this is not so small as the previous one.
I will do that then.
It's a bit like the passage behind the room with the vines. You can squeeze through. It's just not. It's not very pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you had any form of claustrophobia or something for you.
That would be really
Would
shit
be
for an
okay.
explorer.
It would be, yes. Being a dungeoneer with. Yeah, you can. But let's assume that Mary was acting at the same time and not once everyone's done.
I
Yeah.
open the door.
Okay, as you approach Mary, you see that there's some water trickling from under the door.
You know what? I don't care about that because from 4th level onwards, I can wild shape, which with what's it called, swimming speed. So I can turn into a fish whisk. I open the door.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you try and get the door open. It seems to be locked.
Okay, I did not consider that one. Locked doors.
Foiled again.
Artorias.
Mm-hmm.
There's a door. Do your paladin thing.
It's pretty cramped.
Hildy is with us. I'm just
Yeah, that's
trying
fine.
to drag her through the maze.
Yeah, that's all right. So, Artorias. Yeah, so you get up there and you give it a good old bash, and you give it a few bash with your shoulder, and eventually on like the fourth one, door cracks open, and immediately like your boots are soaked through as a wave of water comes out of the room, and it's about like it's not going to sweep you away, but there's a layer of water about maybe 30 centimeters or so from the floor, just a wave that comes towards you and covers the hallways surface in water. So all of your boots are now wet. And, that's like 7 inches, maybe. Oh no, more like 10. More like 10. Sorry, like about a foot. Let's call it a foot. Foot of water.
Bath time.
And looking into the room, Artorius, you see that the entire floor of the room is all submerged, and it's now sort of Wildcat appears indeed. You notice that this seems rather unfinished. There's walls of limestone that have not been polished or anything, and there's some stalactites hanging from the ceiling. And there's some droplets of water coming down. And you see that there's what looks at first be floating, but actually seems that it's resting on something underneath the surface. There's a gem which is pulsating with a bright yellow glow.
William,
Yes? What have we got?
something for you to see.
Okay. Coming through, coming through, coming through. Thank you. Alright. Tell me all about it.
Well, from here you can see a gem that seems to be pulsating with a yellow light lying on a stone.
And I'm going in the
side of the
room. Whereabouts roughly is it?
It's on the east wall. And you notice that as you step into the room, Actually, the entire room is sunk a little bit into the dungeon construction, and you step into about 4 foot of water,
Okay.
and it's pretty damn cold.
Let me guess, the door closes.
The door is not closed now.
No.
Mary, you probably shouldn't come in here.
Yeah, it's just you know when you jump into the cold bath at a swimming pool. It's that feeling where you just this is fucking cold.
Oh, I know that feeling.
I
Oh, this is not teeny for a gem.
Greg just has higher standards than you are.
Yeah, he's just expecting a gem like that.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
But you would make William look really stupid because he's already in water, right?
I mean, less make me look stupid and more just make me dead when the trap goes off.
But that would happen anyway, right? It's just gonna electrocute him.
So
Yep.
you see the mage hand flow past you, William, towards the gem.
Do you perhaps want to let me have a look at it first before you go pulling it off the pedestal or the wall or whatever it's on?
Okay.
Thank you.
And you start making your way over there, and you notice that it's pretty hazardous underfoot. Like you can't see anything under the water; it's just black. And you're slipping and sliding across like loose pebbles and slippery surfaces under the water. So could I please have a dexterity saving throw? Moving across.
Dexterity saving throw. That's unfair. Does this help me at all in this? Technically not, I suppose, but I don't think this should be a dex save.
Well, that's what it is.
Well, that's just sheer horseshit, isn't it?
But you're fine. You move across, and you manage to catch yourself as you almost slip, and I get the feeling that if you would have slipped, you would have probably gone under and maybe inhaled some really damn cold water. But you're fine. You make your way across. I'm taking it a bit slower after that. After you have your first slip, catch yourself, and then we're like, okay, let's just take this easy. Take your time, and you move your way across. And it seems to just be like on a stone. The stone does seem to be somewhat oddly shaped for it to just randomly be there, as in it's shaped with a big enough flat part on the top to hold this gem.
Well, first of all, I'd like to check to make sure it's not trapped in some manner.
Okay.
Or
Go
attempt to, at the very least.
Yeah, roll for the investigation. Okay. You have a look, and it seems to be fine.
I think it's going to be okay. Let me get back, and then we can pick it up.
No, there was like a big wave at first, and then slowly slowing down as the water level outside equalized a little bit. And it's probably gonna, make eventually like 1 centimeter of water a large part of the dungeon. No, you're just like the water slowly going down, so there's still like a few inches of water covering your feet at the moment. No, there's just water dripping from the ceiling. Yeah, there's some stalactites here, so you get the idea it's just natural formation, dropping some water in here.
Okay, ready. Hopefully, it should be okay.
Yeah, and so you you pull the gem out of its socket, and immediately William's suspicions are confirmed as a lightning bolt shoots out from next to it into the water.
Oh, what?
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, you stop, but it's already happened. So, oh yeah. And could I just have, I guess in this case, con saving throws from each of you?
I mean, definitely Dex to jump out of the water, surely.
Ah, you could try that as well. Sure.
Actually,
I'll allow
they're both the same.
I'll allow either, whatever one you prefer.
What, really? That roll.
Does each of you include me?
Yes.
Fuck.
I mean, if I wanted to be nasty, I'd say it's probably more. It affects you more, Mary, since more of your body's covered by water. But you know.
Always with the.
Okay, and you
Oh.
see.
I'm actually wearing rubber boots.
That would be great if you weren't standing like in the water.
Oh no, they're like fishing boots. You know the
The waders.
Oh yeah, of course. Let me just make sure that you always have like 13 AC then, because you're not protecting your legs. That's fine. No worries.
Actually, Isaac this whole time has been floating about 5 feet over the ground. Just to tell you.
Okay. So anyone lower than a 16? That would be
me.
Artorias, William,
Hey,
Isaac.
Hilda.
Okay, so it's really just Haldemir and Mary that saved then. Okay. Okay, so for those of you who didn't save, you take 20 damage.
Ow.
And for those of you who did save, you take 10.
Is this a trap?
Yes, it is.
Oh, thank God it's a trap. Oh,
Dead.
that
How are
turned
you?
potentially deadly into okay.
I cast Cure Wounds on Artorias again.
Artorias?
No, wait.
I'm ground.
Isaac.
I mean, you could cast on Artorias, I mean, that's fine, but, you know.
On one of our door opening tools, I cast Cure Wounds.
Hildy casts it on herself.
Well, you're back up.
I really hate this dungeon.
In your mage hand, yeah.
Actually, saying that.
Yeah, go ahead and roll for investigation to see what you're gonna find. Of course, in 1 minute, it's gonna fall to the floor if you don't pick it up. Because your mage hand will end. You just think it's a normal gem, and from your talks with William, you get the idea that usually when you trigger a trap, it's when you remove an object from its resting place. Nothing happened. Yep. It's actually a very nicely cut diamond, and it's as soon as you grab it, like the ice cold water that your feet are covered in doesn't really seem to bother you that much anymore. No, just you. And it seems to have a soft pulsating glow, which gives it a little bit of light radius.
Hildy asks if the party would be willing to wait 10 minutes. To which she expects a response.
Do you need to go for a dump or something?
No, she would like to cast a spell.
Sure.
Well, 10 minutes, not an hour. I can't remember which one we're doing, to be honest.
No, we decided that we not to use that rule. This one.
So everyone heals for 16, providing we get 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's a miserable fucking 10 minutes though, with your feet in freezing water.
I'm a druid, Anna. I think
I'll
I
take
burn.
miserable over
Yeah, it's okay for you.
I'm a druid. I don't care about horrible living conditions. I live in a wood. I changed my hit points to 2,400 by accident, and now the line is.
Well, someone wants to be OP.
I mean, if my only move was Thorn Whip, I don't think that would be really OP. Thorn Whip.
Man, you should have just left me on the ground before you cast the prayer.
Well, I wasn't aware he was gonna cast that.
Well, also that takes 10 minutes, so you would have made your destiny.
Yeah,
by
he
then.
could have used Spare the Dying and then.
Yeah.
I didn't really get a chance. Mary was on point with her healing.
Our cleric is surprisingly competent today. I wasn't expecting that, so.
That's because
Diamond from B20.
Is that its heroic historical name? The Diamond of B20.
Yes.
That took the air out of my wings, that answer.
And out of Greg's lungs, by the sound of it.
those failed con saves.
Where to next?
To the right and down, just into this room below us.
You're really gonna make us look at every room, aren't you?
Yeah, of course. That's what we're here for.
I mean, I have 2 daggers I'm not gonna use. If anyone wants 2 daggers.
Well, it's time for Mary to multiclass into Rogue.
Have a look at this room.
I definitely have the stats for that.
Yeah, you have a look at it and wiggle the door a little bit, and you quickly find that it is not trapped but locked.
Well, it's okay, but it's locked. Artorius, do you want to give it a go first? Or do you want me to?
Boom. Doesn't seem to budge.
I'll have a go. Nope.
And you fiddle with it, and maybe you get the idea that this is a pretty important room, as the lock is really good on this one.
It's quite a complex lock here. Maybe bring that crowbar down and use the 2 of you. Hildy, give him a hand.
Bring out the crowbar again.
I think it should probably actually be Hildy making the check, since I think she has the
Oh.
highest modifier.
well.
Possibly.
I think
What?
she's got a 20.
She's +5. I'm only +4.
Yeah.
I'm +5 as well.
All right. Yeah. And
My
you,
one good stat.
You eventually manage to bust the door open. What you see inside is that there's a whole lot of stone columns running from floor to ceiling. And they're all carved with some form of symbols that you don't really recognize. And there also seems to be some graffiti over the top of the old symbols. And you recognize this as probably as Bugbear and Goblin writing, as you've seen both of those here, and you recognize the language, William. The columns in the back of the room look in slightly better condition than the ones close to you, so it's a little bit hard to make out exactly what's said, as the ones next to you look a little bit messed up. And the floor here is also completely covered with debris and small rocks and the sort.
Right, so I think this looks like a room that me and Haldemir should be first in.
Yep.
Ready, Haldemir? 3, 2, 1, in we go.
Yep. You just step in. It's fine.
And start the investigation.
Right. How do you want to go about that?
Trying to rub off some of this bullshit graffiti.
Okay.
And
So
have a
you
look
get
at these
out,
actual columns, unless there's columns that don't have graffiti that we can see much more clearly.
No, they all seem to have some of it. It's just varying degrees. I mentioned the ones towards the back of the room seem to have less than the ones at the front, but there's still enough to make it difficult to discern what's underneath, as there's so much other stuff going on top of it. So you grab like a piece of fabric or something to try and rub off some of the.
I'm going to attempt this actually. For
Cleaning it.
Cleaning.
Yeah. So you cast prestidigitation on it, and you notice that the effect is that rather than perhaps removing the entire layer of paint that the graffiti is, it just becomes nice and clean, and the graffiti still stays, but is now very nice and clean.
GM wash it. Alright, then yes, I'll begin scrubbing it and touch it unwillingly because the GM commands it.
Hey, I don't command it, the spell does. It says clean, not remove a specific layer.
Yeah, but that's dirt. Come on.
Well, by your interpretation, yes.
By everyone's interpretation, even by the bugbear, he knew it was shit.
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
Good to know.
Well, can I use Druidcraft? It does like the same thing as.
No, I would say that if someone has mending, maybe that would work.
I will check Hildy. But I doubt it.
Because that's actually like the repair of an item to return it to its original
Far
state.
too useful for Hildy to have.
Okay, I can minor illusion it and make it appear as if it was clean.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'll do it the manual way.
Okay, so you start scrubbing, scrubbing some of the graffiti away, and with some water, it actually comes away relatively easy. It's gonna take a while, but it won't be difficult. You do hear that with every swipe, there's a loud rumbling sound, and you feel that the pillar that you're cleaning shakes a little bit. Not quite sure if that's because of the pressure you're applying to get the stuff off, whether you're just physically breaking it, or whether there's something else going on.
No, there's definitely some other bullshit going on. Okay, I'm going to be very careful. I mean, I'm sure I've learned preservation techniques, old artifacts and stuff. I'm going to take my time on it, do it carefully.
Yeah, so you have another go and you keep going, and as you're prepared for this sort of thing, do some bonus to this, but after carrying on for a while, you notice that suddenly out of nowhere, like you check the structural integrity, and you know how you do when you cover bones, you go and swipe it away with a light brush and stuff to get rid of the stuff that you don't need. And so you're being very careful by all accounts, and then suddenly the pillar just collapses towards you.
Awesome.
Oh, you're ready for this. I'll give you some bonuses for this. Okay. What is your AC?
13.
Okay. Right. So you just managed to dodge out of the way as the entire pillar just collapsed into like 4 stone parts that seem to be a little bit too smoothly cut to be natural, and they all fall exactly where you were standing.
Okay. Do I take damage from this, or did I?
No, you managed to duck out of the way.
Does anything happen afterwards?
Nope.
I don't know. It seems a bit odd. Magical in nature, perhaps. Can myself and Haldemir put our heads together on an Arcana check to see if we can figure something out with these?
Yeah, go for it.
I'll offer my assistance to Haldemir, as I think he's better at this than I am.
Yeah, so with a 27, you do come up with your experience and Haldamir's understanding of actual magic, and you get the idea.
I've got quite a good understanding of magic now. Thank you.
Especially of magical crafts.
That indeed these do seem to be trapped in that touching them for a certain period of time will trigger the traps.
That's a really obscure trap mechanic.
It does.
Does there seem to be anything else at work here, or is this literally just a room full of 9 traps?
Yeah, they're just lying there. Yeah, you can just access them.
You say that. Never count anything out with Arno.
Never do. I don't want to become predictable.
Yeah, we'll take a look at these smaller boulder type objects.
Yeah. The information I'll give you is paraphrased. You managed to clean off a section without any further trembling in the room, and you see quite a few mentions in the text to something which you're guessing means laboratory as you work on this. This is going to take like 2 hours or so of your time to go through, as the language is unknown to you. Yeah, there's symbols unknown to you, and I can tell you that the text our speak language is not going to help. It's not. It's not. No.
Is it more of a cipher then?
Yeah, sort of. It's like just in an old language that's forgotten beyond the ones that would be included in today's books, libraries, whatever.
Because I am good with ciphers, so.
Yeah, I know that there's some feature. I don't remember exactly what. But, basically, what you get from this is like it's sort of a description of this area of the dungeon. And that it is designed as sort of a laboratory to test the prisoners, to see what sort of imprisonment needs to be made for them to make sure that they stay captive.
Okay.
That they're testing all of their abilities basically to see what they can deal with, to make sure that they design a prison that they keep them locked in.
We should probably be very careful in this area of the prison.
As you move on to one of the other chunks, you also get the idea that there was some discussion between the Celestials that some of them actually frowned upon the practice of using them as like test animals to imprison them better, whereas others said, well, just whatever it takes to keep the world safe.
Okay.
And that's about what you can get from this one collapsed pillar.
Okay. Well, I think we're pretty much done with this room. Nothing much is going to come from it unless we spend the next couple of days here translating all this.
Let's not.
I agree. It's not.
I'll take a few last-minute notes and then done.
Yeah, just one thing that you do is that you you notice there's one part which still has some graffiti on it, but one part of the graffiti actually catches your eye as perhaps somewhat interesting. And this is it's because it's been scribbled over several times and things have been crossed out in the graffiti by one of the other another goblin or another bugbear. And there seems to be some debate on who's the rightful goblin ruler. And there is mention of Norandithas. I'll put that in chat.
Thank you.
There's a few titles around it, but most of them are like beyond recognition. The only one that you can recognize is the quick thinking. And there's a few mentions of this name, and every time you see this name, it's been crossed out, and a different name has been written in its place, and that's Sukte.
Sure.
And that's about. I can suck your KT then. And that's about as much as you can surmise without spending more time here.
Okay. Well, I think we're done here.
And as you step out of the room, William and Haldermere, a moment later you hear a... And as you look back into the room to see what happened, the pillar's back in its original position.
You say the pillars switch position?
No, it's back in its original position. So the one that had collapsed is now
Right, I see.
back in its original place. No, it's still clear.
Okay. Yes, not a bad idea.
Before I forget, since you did spend some time in there, could I have an investigation check from you as well? Yeah, just from one of you with advantage. That's
Done.
fine. Okay. You as you're making your way out, you just spot something that's lying just behind the pillar that's next to the door,
Mm-hmm.
and you find that actually just under the rubble there's a small pouch.
Yep.
And in the pouch there's a few coins. It's all copper. Doesn't really seem to be worth much. There's a gold ring.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to radiate some kind of illusion magic.
Mm-hmm.
There's a masterwork silver dagger.
Yep.
And lying under it, a little bit deeper in the rubble, there's a pair of rusted kukri.
Kukri.
Yeah, you can just assume they're short swords mechanically. They're sort of like, if for those who don't know what the kukri is, they're like machete dagger type things used to hack with. Yep. And
yeah, go on, sorry. Carry on.
there's also one scroll of mending.
I'll hand that over to Hildy.
Arnie's not very proud of himself right now.
It was there. It was there. I promise. I didn't just write that in.
I don't get it.
It's
What
okay.
is-
We know Isaac. Yep. So you can't copy that into your spellbook.
Someday you'll get another cantrip, and then you'll have to pick between mending and prestidigitation. Whatever. The spell.
Pretty key.
Ugh.
The copper coins, anything of note of them? Are they old?
No, they're not old. Maybe somewhere between 20 and 50 years old. So current minting, basically.
Okay. No interest to me then.
Artorias is already forging forward. Like,
Yeah, a gold ring that radiates some illusion magic. Yep.
Yeah, gonna give that a test out. Pop it on, see if anything happens.
Yeah, so you put it on. Nothing happens.
Okay, I'll wait for a short rest then. You got a reference for that one?
B21.
Sorry for the delay. I'm ready now.
Are you just not moving, Adrian, or is the camera frozen?
No,
He wasn't moving.
I sometimes stop moving because why move
I'll
every
just
two
move you
squares?
through.
Thank you.
She lag. She lag. She lag. There's probably some Welsh people really depressed
Yeah.
about that.
It's Shillelagh.
Schlag.
Why do you think I do not have that spell? Did you ever consider why I didn't just pick it?
You never have to you don't actually have to ever pronounce the name of your spell in character. So.
Well, you know.
I don't know. It's got
Well,
verbal
except if
components.
there's a vocal component, right? Usually say the vocal.
You don't say the name of the spell. The vocal. Come on, what's that? It's like fireball. That's not how that works.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Which direction?
So power word kill isn't just kill.
No, it's die, obviously. Come on.
Hey, it's power word, not power sentence.
That is true. He got you
Go
there.
now.
To answer your question, well, yes. Yes, right seems reasonable. There's one room down there.
Oh, for a second there, I saw the room.
How do you go back to try again?
I can fix that.
Just a little bit. Oh,
Cheeky. Apparently it's the wall somewhere.
Anna's a vengeful god.
Mm-hmm. There you go. I'll do this instead. That's even better. Okay. Artorias, you find no problems with the door.
And I shall attempt to open it.
Yep. It just opens. And this room looks very much like the others in this expanse of the dungeon, except that the floor is littered with little rubble and rocks. In the back of the room, there's a large, simple stone well. And there's a rope attached to the well's frame, and it's hanging down, and it seems that there's some weight on it. It seems to be pretty taut. The rope is like there's weight on it. It's taut.
I'm gonna pull it off.
Frame across the well. Sorry, Artorias, what were you doing? Did you say?
Pulling the rope up.
Okay. You try and pull the rope up. It seems like it's a little bit heavy, and it's not quite going to be so easy to just lift it. There is a winch on the side with a little wind up thing for the rope.
Yeah, I may as well use it then.
The witch is trapped. The witch is a mimic.
Well, you never know. What might be a mimic, what might not be. I think we decided that the dungeon was a mimic, right? It's just
Yeah,
gonna eat
for
you
sure.
At some point. Okay, so you you start putting this thing up, and as you start putting this thing up, you hear again this. And let's see if you manage to get out of the way or not. Okay, so you don't manage to actually get out of the way, but your armor protects you from most. What happens is a bunch of stones from the ceiling fall on you, and they just bounce off your armor. You get the idea if Mary was standing there, probably that'd just be a Mary underneath a bunch of stone blocks. And shake it off and perhaps keep putting the thing up.
Of course.
Shake it up.
Mm-hmm.
Someone had
so
to.
You eventually pull up the thing. You notice that why it was quite heavy is that there's basically just a bucket at the end of the rope, but there's like a whole bunch of vegetation and stuff that was stuck to it. And after a few turns of the winch, you manage to get it loose from the vegetation and put it loose. And so when it gets up, there's like a bunch of half-rotten twigs and vines and stuff over it. And you see that there's 3 vials in the bucket.
Ooh, vials.
Thank you.
Sorry, I forgot I left you there.
I went a little holiday, took a day off.
Does anyone know what these vials are? Helmer, you're magic. Come here.
I'll lend a hand if he requires it.
You have a look. We don't really recognize these.
I have a medicine pouch and proficiency. Can I? No, a herbalism kit, actually. Well, that's the same thing, right? Can I look at them?
Yeah, totally. They're totally plants.
Well, they're made from plants, I assume. Everything is made from something, Anna.
Wise words.
What's the room number for these?
42, B42.
I mean, maybe you could just taste it.
Why don't you go
Actually-
ahead, Isaac? Why
From
don't you
my
go ahead?
understanding of potions and the like, generally you have to imbibe the whole quantity to gain its effects. Tasting it
Oh.
won't help.
Is that a challenge?
No, but I'm assuming you'll take it as one.
But I mean,
Wait
couldn't you like, if you taste it, maybe if it tastes like bitter, maybe it's bad, and if it tastes like sugar, it's good.
I like this man's logic.
I, on the other hand, do not. Hopefully Haldemir will concur with me here. Let's leave it until we sit down next time, and me and
Aye,
Haldemir can
well,
go through the books and have a look.
I'll
Alright.
leave it to you, clever
Cool.
people.
Also remind me
go.
to just make all poison sweet in this game.
Yeah.
We going down?
No, keep going. They'll
What?
join up eventually.
But down.
Yeah, go to the same place.
Where are we going then? Keep going straight.
You can go right and just double check there's a dead
Straight
end
right.
there. You're right. Normal right. Well, actually,
But,
technically, Isaac's right because he's in the right place. Right?
I don't have a torch though. It's a bit dark.
Just double check there's nothing down there. Should be a quick one.
Oh,
Lovely,
there's so
thank
much
you.
treasure down here. There's loads of treasure.
Oh my god, look at all that treasure.
Well, if you want it, feel free.
There's like books and stuff down there, William.
Oh, okay, I'm coming. Oh, I'll go take a look
And
down the
literally
end.
all you find is just like, it looks like an unfinished hallway where again the four walls haven't been polished or smoothed out. Seems like they were probably planning on adding some room here, but they never got around to it.
I can't believe he fell for that.
What hilarious japes. There's a door here. You've missed a door, Artorius. I'm surprised at you.
I know exactly what's in there. I'm not going in there.
I will take a look at the door.
Okay, go ahead.
I have been in there, William.
You've been in there?
Yep.
What's in there?
Zombie dogs.
Zombie dogs? Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Do you still want to open the door or have a look at it?
Well, I might as well just have a look at it. I mean, at least I'll know in future if it's trapped or something.
Yeah, you have a look at it. It seems to be okay.
Okay, I know that for future.
What about this door?
Yeah, seems fine.
Where are we? Ah, yes. Okay.
We've got two choices.
Well, the one on the right is a single room on its own, so that would be a good place to start.
This one?
That's the one.
Okay.
Odd-shaped room.
You want to open it?
Yes.
Just like that? No checking? How daring.
Yeah.
That seems to be fine in this case.
No, we get really paranoid like halfway through the session, and then we check a few doors, and then we just throw it out and
Forget
start
about
again
it,
next
yeah.
session.
Along the western wall of this room, there's an immense red tapestry. And it's covered in silver and black arcane sigils.
Ooh.
It looks to be made completely out of silk and is in perfect condition, as if completely untouched by the passage of time. Before you step into the room, on the floor there's a series of misplaced white stones, mixed with red bricks and onyx plates. And on the south wall is a strange diagram showing the layout of the room itself.
Okay, let's take a
I'm
look at
out.
this strange diagram.
Okay, could I have an intelligence check from you then, please? Just intelligence.
You may do it.
Well, where's Isaac?
19. Okay.
What?
They were wondering where you went.
I'm right. Yeah.
Just under someone, I think.
Oh, you're under William.
Oh no. Oh, not on my screen.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know where you went.
Oh, I mean, I'm above William.
Yes. Okay, so you have a look at the diagram, and it takes a bit of time to figure out exactly what's being said there. As you have to go through the whole thing step by step to figure out the first step.
Yep.
You get the idea that you, at first, you have a look, and it seems to indicate that you should go white, red, black, white, red, black, white. Then
Okay.
you keep on studying for a while longer, and then it's like, but wait, that doesn't make. Why would it be like that? That's a very strange pattern. It makes no sense whatsoever. And you get the idea that from what you've seen before, that probably it's intentionally wrong, and it's probably a trick to try and get you to follow that pattern and trigger the trap.
Okay. Well, that's less than helpful.
Indeed. You think back a moment to the room with the pillars where you read about the fact that this was basically this entire region was designed as a test.
Mm-hmm. Do I feel like no, fuck it, I'm not gonna be able to work it. Right, I'm gonna take a step in the room.
Okay, and do you want to follow the pattern mentioned, or?
I do not, if we're getting the impression that that's the wrong thing to do.
Okay, then what would you like to do?
Let's do the opposite of the map. Some shit like that. Whatever it doesn't say, do that.
Okay, but I'll leave that up to you to decide what that is.
I can't, because I can't see a floor with what
so
colors are
there's-
there and stuff. It's
Yeah, it
hard to
doesn't
say.
exactly matter where they are on the floor. There's just there's white stones, there's black stones, and there's red stones.
Right, I'm gonna take a step onto the white stone.
Okay. You step on it, nothing happens.
I'm gonna stay on white stones.
Okay. The first few steps you can sort of make it without any difficulty, but you notice that the next white stone is a bit of a distance, so you're gonna need to jump. So you could please have an acrobatics check to see if you can land.
Yeah. Come on, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, you manage just fine. You hop skip over to the tapestry.
Okay. So I'm at the tapestry.
Yeah, you're next to this plate now, which is in front of the tapestry.
Okay. I would like to check out the plate and the tapestry if possible.
Okay. You know what to do. Give me an investigation. Okay. You have a look at it. You don't find anything odd about either the plate or the tapestry itself.
No, I'm a bit stumped here, actually. Haldemir. Right, what I've got is, and I'll go into detail about what I'm looking at, see if he can offer any kind of guidance on it.
Nope. And the tapestry probably just needs some more detailed investigation. As mentioned, it's covered completely in arcane sigils, and you've briefly checked it to see if you see any trappings around it.
Mhm.
Roughly, but
I'll give you some assistance in what they are. I think I can do this. Hold on, let me just check something. Come on. Typing like a fucking retard.
Yeah. Either way, let's assume that you give him some idea of the things that you're seeing.
Yeah, I use precipitation. You can make a color, small mark, or a symbol appear on an object or surface.
Yeah, so you can
So I'll
just
do
roll
that. I
like
just kind of like transcribe in front of him.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep, definitely. Okay. You get the idea that there's sort of a description of the study on animating materials.
Do you think the tapestry could be animated? How big is this tapestry?
It's about the same size as the map from before. It's definitely carryable, but it's going to be a bit cumbersome. But you could carry it with you. You could roll it up, and it would be probably like twice the size of a bedroll. So something that would cover a table, basically.
That would be difficult to get out of this room with that last hop that I had to make.
I did
Try.
recently lose my bedroll, so I could use that.
No.
I give Isaac my spare bedroll, which is actually William's bedroll.
Oh, thank you.
It's alright, I got another one. Okay. Yes, if you could mage hands the rope over, I'll start tying it.
Yeah, that's fine. You can like tie it across. Just describe to me how you want to get it out of the room. What exactly is the plan here? It's not on the plate. The plate's just standing in front of it. It's hanging on the wall.
Yes,
And
tapestry.
there's a plate.
So I'm bundling the tapestry and then tying the rope around it, and they can pull it out once I'm out the room.
Okay. What happens in that case is that you pull it from the wall, and the suspicions that Haldomir had are firmed as it does start to animate. And could I just have a dex saving throw, please, from William?
I'm going to spend my inspiration.
Okay.
Glad I did. And there you go. Haldomir.
Inspiration works. See. Okay, so you get the idea that this thing is trying to wrap itself around you,
Mm-hmm.
but you just managed to take a step back onto the white tile
Sure.
and avoid this from happening. It seems very uncooperative in being tied up, at least.
Okay, I'm just going to grab this bowl and hop, skip, jump out.
You reckon it's a flying carpet? That would be cool.
Perhaps, but I'm not going to find out for now.
No, it looks like a tapestry, which I guess you could confuse the two, but no.
Am
The
I
fuck
alright
is a
grabbing this bowl?
Can I have another acrobatic check to make the jump back?
Yeah. It's like a weaved cloth painting type thing, or it could be stitched for the picture on it.
Okay, you jump in, perhaps in a bit of a rush to make it away from the tapestry that seems to be trying to wrap you up in it, and so you accidentally touch like half your foot on a black stone,
Mm-hmm.
and immediately there's like a loud, or so at first you think it's loud, but it's actually just a shockwave that pushes you and the tapestry out of the room.
Oh.
And you take 3 force damage as you're slung out of the room. And and so the tapestry falls on the floor next to you, and then sort of slithers up against the wall and hangs itself back against the wall that you're next to.
Fascinating. Did I get the bowl by any chance?
The what?
Did I hang on to the bowl?
The bowl?
Yeah, so I was grabbing the bowl and legging it.
Which bowl? Sorry?
Isn't there a bowl on the thing?
The plate?
Plate bowl.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, it's not like a plate, like a dinner plate. It's a plate like the thing that you have on top of the sewers, like 100 kilos solid metal.
That's a grate.
No, but it doesn't have slats.
It's a
in it.
manhole cover.
Yeah, like a manhole cover. Exactly. That sort of plate.
Okay.
Like a plate laid into the floor.
Why is it called a manhole, by the way?
Because
So
men go down it. Yeah. The clue's in the name.
Huh.
Indeed.
Should be called a people hole then that's not so sexist.
Very sure. Yeah. Yep. Probably still the case. Alright. So no, sorry, you did not grab the plate out of the floor. I missed that you meant.
Okay.
I would like to fly it.
Burn it.
Can we try to speak to it? Is it intelligent in any way?
Hello.
Not you.
I mean, it didn't answer.
Burn
Can
it.
we attempt to command it in some way?
Go ahead.
Fly.
Mm-hmm.
I currently have the charisma of a wet fucking dog, so I don't
Hey,
know.
wet dogs are awesome.
What's different from usual?
Does any of the arcane symbols on it suggest that it might be activatable or anything like that? A command word of some sort?
I'll tell you what. Why don't you make another Arcana check this time with advantage, since you already discovered some of it, and you have a few more insights into what it actually does after it activated.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what you find out.
I assumed that was the... Well, we've got advantage anyway, but...
Exactly, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one
You
less
just
than
get
yours.
you get the idea that what triggered it was just the pulling it off the wall. It doesn't really matter if your modifier is the same. Like if you have proficiency in both. Like you never really stuck it through to find out what happened. Perhaps it's good, perhaps it's bad. You don't really know. It didn't really seem to be like go to strangle you. It just seemed to be trying to wrap itself around you. Other than that, you don't really seem to get any clues on how to activate except to
Right.
try and detach it from the wall again.
Gonna wrap myself in the tapestry. If I scream, try and get it off me, please.
I'm just gonna laugh.
I direct this at Hildy as opposed to anyone else.
Right, so you put it off the wall again, and it does the same thing. It does try and wrap itself around you again, and it doesn't. It's actually like it wraps around you, like just like a carpet at first, like just rolling you up, and then it starts contracting a little bit, and it actually, like at first you're worried that oh god, what's happening? But pretty soon you find out that it's actually not doing anything negative. It's just forming around your body as some sort of protection.
Okay.
Just give me 1 sec to check something. How are your armor proficiencies, William?
How are my armor proficiencies? Christ. No. I will have to look into
Look up the
Bear
class.
with.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me ask an easy question. Are you proficient with medium? You think or not?
Hold on, I'm almost there. I've got the document open. Equipment proficiencies. Light.
Okay.
Light only.
Then let me just check one thing.
Magical of armor.
Okay, so you now have armor equipped that you're not proficient with, which means that you lack proficiency with the armor, and you have disadvantage on any ability check, saving throw, or attack roll that involves strength or dex, and you can't cast spells. You do feel
Hildy,
relatively safe though, as you're in far superior protection than you normally feel from your leather armor.
whilst I might not be dying, this doesn't feel particularly comfortable. Would you get it off me, Hildy? I try and get Hildy to unwrap me.
Yeah, she can make an athletic check to try and get it off.
I go help her.
Okay.
Hildy.
Either way, Hildy starts trying to pull this thing off you, trying to unwrap it like a snake that's coiled around you. However, it doesn't seem to be budging that easily, and it's actually contracting to counter the effects. And this hurts a bit for you, William. As you take 4 piercing damage as they fail to take it off.
Well, William, how about this? We can cut it off.
Let me just try and take it off myself. I'll just try and reach out and like unwrap it, or ask it to remove itself. I'll try anything that I can.
Yeah, you ask it, nothing happens, and you start just gently tugging on it a little bit. Doesn't seem to budge.
You look great, though.
I think it really suits you. It goes with your eyes.
Nope.
Well, is anyone up for taking a quick rest while I read up on these things?
Well, we can go on for another bit. We could just try and pull it off properly.
I can try to restrain the rug with vines.
Just go on. Just you continue on, and I'll. You all continue on, and I'll figure a way out of this thing while we go. And yes,
I'll open
that
this
door on the
door.
right. It will lead to a corridor and then a room further down, hopefully.
Open this door then.
And yes, Arne, I will spend my time attempting to figure out a word or phrase or something to try and command this thing to remove itself, or try pulling, tugging at different areas, and just expending all options.
Mhm. No, not really. They're not a language. They're just sigils.
Are they spelled in Druidic?
On the other side of things, though, Arne, could you let me know what my AC is?
Are they perhaps written in fighter?
I don't think I should until something tries to hit you.
Okay, fair enough.
Are they written in C++?
None of the above.
Why would that help?
Yeah. Isaac,
What?
go down there and hit William with your sword. See what happens.
I
Look,
think.
guys,
I mean, it's the tapestry I'd cleave through.
look, guys, I know we have 3 people with feeling, but that doesn't mean we should hit each other with giant swords.
All right, I'll open this door.
You have a look at seeing if it's safe to open, and you notice that it's got a pretty sturdy lock on it.
Okay, I will do it my way first then.
You want the rope? No.
Nothing. It doesn't even budge.
Well, it's quite difficult in this actually, but I'll certainly try.
He's not like restrained like that. It's just it's not something he's used to. He's in much heavier armor than he's used to wearing. So it's just his movement is restricted, and for doing delicate things like this.
Oh wow, it's a pretty good roll though.
Yeah, so you have a go at getting the lock open, and you do eventually get frustrated by like your arms. Like you try and move, and you just when you're trying to move gently, and there's a threshold of resistance there, and you just almost snap your pick off, and you don't manage to get the lock open.
Just hit the door, Isaac.
Not until I get this stupid rug off. I can't do anything here.
Hit the door?
Yeah,
Okay.
hit it.
Pull out the axe. I hit the door.
Okay, go ahead and make me an attack. Yeah, you slash into it and you crack like the axe of the blade in between 2 of the planks and make a little bit of a gap. You get the idea this could work, but it will take a while.
I look in the crack.
Oh, as soon as you pull the axe back out, it's like not really much there. It's not like you shatter the plank; you just manage to wedge it in between the wood.
I'm gonna smack it again, right in the crack.
Work away, my friend.
Didn't William have thieves' tools at some point?
I have disadvantage with all my
Thank you,
rolls
Mary,
with the
for
carpet
being with
on.
us today. Thank you.
Oh, fuck yeah. Sorry. It's late.
You try and hit it again in the exact same spot, and you focus on that so much that you actually fudge your swing a little bit, and you just dong against one of the metal bands on the door.
You know what? Fuck this door. Let's leave.
But you're just giving up like that?
Come on, put some fucking effort into it.
I'm gonna do one more swing.
Go for it. Yeah, and again, you swing, and you do manage to get some of your axe in the wood, but you do also hit the metal banding on it again. You get the idea that's probably not the greatest thing to do for your axe.
But I don't give it. Well, I mean, we could stand there all day, keep doing this, but I mean.
Well, the longer you do that, the longer I've got to figure this shit out. So,
right.
Crack on.
Crap.
No, Haldemir, I need you here figuring this out with me.
Wait, are you wearing? What are you wearing under the rug? What sort of armor?
Leather.
Okay. See, what I was gonna suggest was heating the metal of the armor you're wearing under it with heat metal.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a fucking great idea. I'll just burn alive while I constrict to death.
Well, at least you can save against that. That's better than fucking Isaac's sword.
Can I make an attempt just to take a dagger and cut through the rug?
Yeah, go ahead and make an attack roll against yourself.
Really? I have to actually attack myself to cut through a rug.
It's pretty tightly wound around you. It's mostly about trying not to stab you.
I expected better of you, William. Yeah.
You know what? Fuck all of you. Unbelievable hypocrites. Is this an ancient magical tapestry? Is it ancient, Army?
Looks pretty old, yeah.
Okay, I'll keep it on then. Fuck it.
And strangely, strangely untouched by the ravages of time.
Of course, it's magical.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, we don't know if it's magic. Definitely. I'm just gonna check the druid spell list if I have any other idea.
Are we just gonna leave this door then?
I think so. I mean, I don't want to ruin my cool new axe.
Well, give me a hand with the bar then. Or I'll give you a hand with the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. This is the magic door.
GM seemed to imply that it would break though. I'm
just
gonna try and
implying that it's just something your character probably wouldn't do, like keep on
Yeah.
hammering out a solid door with an axe. Yeah.
I
fair
don't
enough.
believe you. I'm gonna, with Torius' help, try and get it up with the crowbar.
Sure. Okay, so you try some more, and no luck. Tori's had a pretty good go before. Didn't work. Try again. Still doesn't work.
And I can't see fuck all through the tiny little gap I made.
No, you know how it is when you split wood and then don't hit the thing all the way through? That's kind of how it is. Like it's like a wedge shaped. Yeah, exactly. It's
Well,
like a wedge shaped
screw this door.
indent in it.
I can do the whole spider thing again and go through the lock.
How would that help?
No, generally you've seen that from all the doors that you've seen here so far. They generally don't have mechanisms that allow you to see through them. Like even looking through the keyhole is not one that has a hole all the way through in one go. Oh yeah, but I mean the spiders like, and that was at the top of the door, so
So I can spider through this door.
potentially, pretty much.
Can I roll perception to see if there's any spider-sized hole?
Yeah, it'll be more difficult than if you were actually a spider, because a spider you can just go and look to see all the small things. Like you can't really see the top of the door if how much of a clearance there is. Oh yeah, I know. But yeah, go ahead and make the check, and we'll see what the result ends up being.
I don't think advantage would do anything right now.
You try and have a look around to see if anything, but you're not sure. So you'd have to go and investigate first.
What is the door made of? Is it wood?
Yeah, so most of the doors that you've seen so far in this area, with a few exceptions, are all made out of like thick wood, and then they have metal banding across them. So there's like on the height where the hinges are, there's like a horizontal metal metal strip across it, and then quite a few of them also have like vertical metal strips.
Does metal become easier to break if you heat it? It does, right?
Because you bend.
Yeah. You'd have to like heat it, cool it, heat it, cool it, heat it, cool it to
Okay, let's just
make it brittle.
Screw
that
this
makes it
door.
fragile, yeah.
Just screw this door.
I'm not sure if that's going to get it open, but you're welcome to try.
Are we going in this room?
Right, before you make your way back out there, Artorius, as you start heading back down the corridor, could I have a perception check?
I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, so you just walk out into the hallway, and as soon as you step out into the hallway, you notice that there's 2 snarling beasts next to you either side.
Well, hello there.
Oh, you actually got a token now where both of them are combined, or is that just...
There's just the beasts.
Okay.
I'm gonna try some animal handling here.
Well, one of them bites you as soon as you step into the hallway, and you take 19 damage.
I take it I wouldn't be able to use my reaction to shield them.
Well, you're welcome to try. It does hit you, that's all I'm going to tell you.
That sounded a lot like a crit.
Yeah, it doesn't help indeed. You take
So he crit me then.
19 reduced to 16 for you damage. And could you please make a strength saving throw? Okay, you stagger a little bit as this thing just bites you on the shoulder, but you manage to stay on your feet. The other one tries to nip at you but misses. And then that's my initiative. Oh, and sorry guys, I completely forgot about
What
them.
game is that?
I didn't remind it.
Was that like Pokemon fighting music?
It sounded like it.
Holy sh! I'm so good. I had to rack my brain through the library of weird game knowledge.
Okay, Mary, you're first up.
Well, I didn't actually want to be first. It's a horrible position to be. For fuck, really? Okay, I moved 20 feet. And I moonbeam.
Okay.
Can't I moonbeam?
Well, I'm wondering if you can target it around the corner.
Well, it's not really around the corner. I can, like... It doesn't have to be on a target.
It's not on the target.
I can just moonbeam whatever I want.
Yeah, you can moonbeam around the corner there.
Perfect. I moonbeam around the corner. By the might of the moon, I'm punishing them.
Okay. That was your turn?
That was my turn.
Okay. It tries to bite you again. This wolf's
Did it do the saving throw?
at the start of its turn, right? So yeah.
When a creature enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn, or starts its turn there.
Yeah, so it's starting its turn there now. It didn't enter the area, it was already there.
Guess the moonbeam entered its area.
It succeeded, and so it takes 6 damage.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one.
I mean, you can damage both of them. I'm really not.
Not fast, yeah, I know. Okay. Artorius, as I mentioned, this one does have a taste for your blood and tries to slash out at you again. Hits again. Do you want to do anything?
Nope. No spell slots.
Okay.
Same turn.
Is that? Yeah, until the start of his turn. Okay, yeah, in that case, misses. Good point. Thank you. And then Artorius, it's your turn.
Yep, I'm gonna disengage.
I sneezed.
Bless you. William?
I ready an action to shoot one if I see it come around the corner.
Okay. Anything else on your turn?
Oh no, that's it. Sorry, I'll click the button.
Isaac?
Uh, yeah, I ready an action to smack it with my axe when it comes, if it comes in melee range.
Okay.
Uh,
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. This one sees you all retreat down this corridor. Runs past. But if you had ranged deck triggers, you can go ahead and make them. Yeah.
burn, baby,
You each hit.
burn.
Did you want to do any maneuvers, William?
Nope.
Okay. And gets hit pretty bad and seems to be moving around the corner. After which it is Hildy's turn.
She shouts something about a shield wall. Runs up the front. Takes the dodge action.
Okay.
She bangs her mace on her shield and shouts, "Shield wall!"
As she's wont to do.
Yep.
And in the hall beyond Hildy hears most clear of all. There's some shouting as the door swings open. Seems to be some bugbears shouting as they join the fray. But Mary, you're the first to respond to this.
Oh, for now, I'm just gonna use my action. But let me roll the damage next. Okay, and I end my turn.
Okay. And make that succeeds. After which I'll try and attack Hildy. 16 misses.
Yes, it does.
Then it will try and step out of the moonbeam. So Hildy could make an opportunity.
Yep. What should we use?
Definitely doesn't like being on fire. And regardless of the outcome, Artorias is short. Well, let's have
I heard regardless of the outcome, actually.
well, it is going to be Artorias' turn regardless. As she swings, she accidentally bites down on her tongue. She bites her tongue a little bit. She can't cast any spells that use verbal components until the end of her next turn.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Move here and take the dodge action.
Oh, sorry. That's not your turn yet, William. My bad. I clicked when I shouldn't.
What a shame.
Fuck's sake with this token. For some reason, I set up one bugbear token wrong at one point, and since then all of them have been like corrupted, even though I fixed the mistake I made. It seemed to. Actually,
Wait. One bugbear token or all token?
No, all bugbear tokens now. Like all bugbears, if I double click to go into their character sheet, they end up as like not normal bugbears.
So, out of interest, how many bugbear tokens are bugged right now? Like,
Quite a few. But this guy fumbles, so.
Where the fuck are these bugbears?
Yeah, you
well,
can't
one
really
is
see them.
definitely here.
You,
Invisible commando bugbears.
What's a group of bugbears
Uh,
called?
coterie of bugbears.
The sound.
Sound of bugbears.
Either way, William, at that point it is your turn as you hear some swing miss and some metal against stone as an attack seems to miss somewhere in the distance.
I'll move next to Hildy and ready in action to shoot the next hostile that comes into range, unless you think I can see that one on the edge.
Oh, let's see.
No,
Yeah, you
maybe
can.
it's probably a sleuth of bugbears.
What did you say, Sorani?
Yeah, you should be able to hit it.
Okay, I'll make an attack at that one then.
Yeah. Cheers. That is a hit.
Cool. Then I click the button.
Isaac.
I'll just go there and ready an attack if something comes from the south.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. And you notice that the warg that you can see in front of you, William, that you just shot at, perhaps from being shot, perhaps from something else, falls to the floor.
Okay. Perhaps the bugbears are not on the side of the wargs.
After which Haldeman answered.
There is also that opportunity.
Okay, your view is rather limited at the moment, like these four. Yeah, well, you could. I mean, you can move through friendly squares. Ah, in that case.
I greatly regret this moonbeam.
Right,
Story
complex
of
trigger. Hildy readies an action to channel divinity just before Isaac's turn, or before Isaac attacks, because he's got a readied action, providing there's something in range for him to attack.
Okay, so just let's go over that again.
Yeah.
If, because we don't need to do before the turn, that's fine. Like, you want to ready a channel divinity to attack, to channel in case Isaac is attacking something.
Yes.
Okay. I just need to check something then to see exactly how Channel Divinity works. The reason I'm checking is because if you do this with a spell, you expend the spell slot no matter what, even if the trigger doesn't go off.
Yeah. So I was
if-
hoping Channel Divinity would work better.
Yeah, but I would like to check so I make consistent ruling on this. It would be until the end of this turn. No, it doesn't say anything about it, so this is probably an oversight in the rules that's not mentioned one way or another, but let's assume that we'll rule in favor of the players and say that yes, you can do that without expending it.
Thank you. In which case, Hildy ends her turn.
Leroy.
Who's Leroy?
Jang.
That's not a name I'm familiar with.
Holy shit.
Oh, sure, Mike is.
Yep.
William, you see one more warg step into the air just before the door to the north there, and a moment later slump to the floor.
I think there's more coming. Something.
Well, I moved here, and I dispel the moonbeam. And I end my turn.
Artorias? Also, Lars, your microphone's too close. You're breathing into it.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I thought it was adding tension. Fine.
Speaking of adding tension.
Is there music playing, by the way? Because it was for a moment.
I have no music, but I do now.
Also, did I move it too far away? Or can...
No, it's fine. Yeah, I see that. Artorias, you step into the hallway there, and you see three bugbears inside the room, which were pretty ready to fight. And you see that one of them just shuts the door. William? Oh shit.
What?
No, it didn't matter. Your crossbow was already the lowest of the two rolls.
What?
You have disadvantage on any strength,
Yeah.
but it was already the lowest of the two.
I can't stand in the proper place. But I move here. I'm ready in action to open the door for when it looks like one of my allies is ready to storm the room.
Sure. And could I just have a perception check from you, William? As you're close.
You may. Wow.
Okay. As you also speak that language, it's pretty useful. You hear pretty clearly a sort of rushed conversation happening on the inside, where buggers are obviously debating what to do next. And here's something like, "Oh, the goblins found us. Then there's also humans and all sorts. I think we should run."
Okay.
So you hear this. You have a moment to speak if you want on your turn.
Yeah, let's do that. I'll try and speak in their language. And
Oh, I didn't even necessarily to them. I mean, You could
No,
speak
I
your
want to
party
speak to
thoughts,
them.
okay.
I'm
Fair
gonna go full Mary.
What, Moonbeam though?
Yep. Yeah, I learned druid shit as well. Yeah, I'm also a transmuter. You in there? We don't have to fight this, you know. Put down your weapons and we can be peaceful.
How about you just leave? I won't need to fight at all.
Could possibly be arranged. What's in that room?
Nothing of interest for you.
We have your
Yes.
word as well.
Unless you have interest in killing goblins.
We've killed a few. Are there goblins in there?
No.
Come on out. Perhaps we could reach some kind of agreement.
Prefer not to.
I don't know how long I've got to speak here. Like before, and my turn.
Well, unless anyone wants to interrupt, there's no reason we couldn't continue unless people want to storm in.
I don't want to interrupt, but I want to move up the next to there.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't want to
People can take
interrupt.
some actions in the meantime, that's fine.
I don't want to interrupt, but I look really proud of William right now.
Right. I'm
I
opening the door. We're coming in to talk.
I whispered to Artorius, "Why is he speaking gibberish?"
I'll move towards to open the door and look to
You
the
come
two
in.
big burly guys there.
You come in and
To
one more of you, no more.
just to be ready to have my back, so I'll tell Artorius and Isaac that I'll shout if I need help. Okay. Yeah, okay. Isaac,
What?
come in with me.
Are you sure?
I will signal if I need your assistance.
Right. What's the signal?
Ah!
Oh, okay.
And then you hear it from inside the room, go, "Rah!"
Sorry, the warg out here is twitching. It scared me a bit. I'm coming in now. I open the door.
Okay. Stupid dynamic lighting move, you bastard. Like,
I will get out of the way for you. Oh, it's done.
no, it wasn't that. It was just hard to grab.
And I will step into the room.
As will I.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, there's that name again.
Oh, howdy.
Thank you for
Come
your
in.
assistance with the wargs.
Fucking goblins hunting us.
The wargs are with the goblins?
Yes.
Pardon me, do you speak common?
Oh, my friend asked if you speak common.
Tell him. Not really.
No, it's probably not best.
Right.
Do you know where these goblins are?
Well, since you asked, and he sort of walks you over to one of the tables, and there's like a rough map, much rougher than yours, scrolled out. You immediately spot like 20 mistakes on it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's functional for the most part. Like some of the passages don't exactly go where they are, or the doors in the northeast corners of the northwest where it's marked and stuff like that. But they seem to have a map of the much smaller region, not the entire region like yours, but like of the few rooms around here,
Mm-hmm.
and some of them leading north, and the most of their like the majority of the marks, etc., on the map are. I'll just put it up. sec. Mostly to the south, to the southwest of here. You've been into one of the rooms that's marked as a big red cross on it.
Mhm.
It was one of the rooms where you fought a lot of them,
Okay.
of the goblins. And there's a few other rooms near there which are marked similarly.
I think we've actually encountered a few of these already. In either case, I have a proposition for you. At some point, we're clearly going to run into these goblins, and safety in numbers will be a greater threat if we're together. Why don't you accompany us to remove this goblin scourge? We can work together.
As we've been cut off from our main force, if you could escort us back there, you have a deal.
And where would we find them?
They are a bit of a way. Need to head south from here, quite far near the maze, and then head west.
Okay, I think I have an understanding roughly where.
And he points at the map somewhere to show you where he needs to go. And you've been to the other bugbear encampment, sort of.
In relation to like the big box cage room to the left of the map, where from there roughly?
The big box cage room. What?
Yeah, so there's like there's the mazy type area to the
Yeah.
left and up. There's the like box room.
Oh, you mean with all the small, the silence
Squares.
area, basically? Yeah. It's just north of that room, basically.
Okay. So we go down. Okay, that's not too bad. We could potentially do that. What's the size of your main force? What's to say we won't be overrun there? We have your word?
He sticks a hand out to shake it. Says, "On my honor."
Can I insight/knowledge check bugbears and their honor?
You can, yeah, you can just go ahead for insight, I suppose. Yeah, he seems to be truthful. Like they're putting on a pretty tough show, and they're still militaristic. But the fact that they're cut off from the rest of their force doesn't really sit well with them. The idea that he doesn't
I'll
really
extend a hand to shake it.
Yeah, and he grabs it perhaps a little bit too hard for your fragile build.
Mm-hmm.
Not purposely, just he's used to shaking Bugbear's hands.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Yes,
go.
a deal. Okay. I'll turn back to companions to relay the information. I think we have a deal here. If we help escort them back to their group, they'll assist in dealing with the goblin threat around these areas.
Yes, one thing. Name?
Oh, I'm William. This here is
Sort of.
Isaac. Mary's in the doorway there.
I give him a wave.
And
looks,
around the corner there's Hildy, Artorius, and Haldimir.
he sort of nods and points to himself and says, Guragug.
Pleasure to meet you.
Bless you.
Is everyone okay with this? As I turn to other people. Well, that doesn't seem to be a strong objection, so lead the way, I suppose.
Let's go. I'll just move one of them, but the three of
Yeah,
them.
fine.
Right, south we go. And you hear him shout again in Goblin. He says, Ruggle, hurry the fuck up! To one of the others. That one sort of seems to be following behind a bit more meekly. As this guy walks out, heads down south. And the sees Artorias running and says, "Whoa, stop! You stop!"
I don't think he would.
Artorias, I think he wants you to slow down.
Yeah, no, the Artorias is running quite far ahead, and before the translation happens,
He explodes.
Artorias steps through another tripwire.
Oh, back in 1 sec.
Sure. And Artorias, you just managed to turn in a way that you're just looking back at your group to see what the hell William was telling you, and at that point, like you feel a hard hit against your back, but it seems to have been mostly glancing off your armor, and there's a like a spear that was attached to like a stick strung from the ceiling to try and impale you, but just hit you on the armor instead. I don't know if you are talking, by the way, but we can't hear you. Can see that you're lighting up on Discord, but no sound. Perhaps just reconnect.
That better?
That is better. So I don't know how long that was for, but we haven't heard you since I take the dodge action.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, it's fine. And so you get hit with a trap, but it doesn't do any damage. And he sort of looks over at William and says, "Tell your friends to go slow. We'll show them where traps are."
Yes, he has quite the tendency to run off ahead. I'll attempt to get him to slow down. Artorias, they know where the traps are if you care to stay behind him.
Sure.
Could you ask him kindly if he set up a massive log trap recently?
Sure. Garagek, who laid these traps? Was it yourselves? Or was it goblins?
Both parties. Usually we try and disarm the goblin ones, so we only have our own to worry about.
Did you set any log traps up to the north?
Oh, yes, that's a good one. Works every time.
No, Isaac, they didn't. Don't
Oh,
tell
you
me.
motherfucker!
Do you want to see if you can deceive him?
Yeah, I mean, it's only fair.
I mean, I think in this case it calls for it.
No, Isaac,
could-
no, they didn't
Could
do it at
technically still
all.
roll lower, so let's see what the result is first.
That's insight, right?
Yeah,
Here's the next critical fail.
the best if it's gonna be a 2.
Well, I can roll a 1 on this.
Fucking close as well.
Brilliant.
I guess it's like not really convincing, but you're not really sure he's lying either.
Huh. Right.
I want to roll to face palm.
I look down at the massive dent in my chainmail, like, right?
Yeah, see, there's a mixture of them. I think those ones are goblins, though.
I mean, they seemed pretty heavy to like.
Yes, he did explain they have this weird system where they all kind of piggyback 3 at a time. Bizarre. But you know what goblins are like. Quite ingenious little things.
Devious
unfortunately.
little bastards.
Yeah, but
Will we-
aren't they just?
Move on instead of standing here having a group debate.
Yes, sorry, Garagek, we're ready now.
I assume that's why you switch over back to Goblin.
Yes. Yeah, sorry, just assume if I'm talking
Yeah.
to these, lacking the proficiency to talk goblin myself.
And he says, "Oh, careful here," and he points out another wire to step over.
I will step over said wire.
Is there a giant log above me?
No, you don't actually see anything here.
Okay, I step over.
Come on, keep up.
Yes, I'm trying, but I have two characters to control and some lighting as well. It's quite difficult, Garagek.
He sort of sighs and grumbles.
He understands.
He knows the drill.
I feel like I've been here before.
I have been here before, Isaac.
And you notice that as he approaches this corner, he sort of slinks up against the wall, and despite his size, he's actually pretty quiet when he's moving like that.
Are you telling us he has proficiency with stealth armor?
Perhaps. Also, he has got a pretty good roll on it.
You should
He
probably tell
sort of
him.
turns back at you and just holds his his hands in front of his mouth, like.
I will attempt to go as quietly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, isn't he being quiet because there's all these goblins here, all these goblins we murdered in cold blood? I don't think we have to sneak.
See, if we'd have come up the north passageway, then we wouldn't have had to worry about being quiet. Foolish hobgoblin.
Well, if there was a hobgoblin here, he might be objecting to that.
It's a bugbear.
Oh yeah, those things. Whoops. Such a racist.
Hardly any difference. And you notice that every time he rounds a corner, he's sort of suspiciously looking around to see if there's nothing coming, and then like dashes across this gap here to the other side.
He's quite into this, isn't he?
It's kind of a...
And since none of you are, could I just have a stealth check from I guess at least the ones who are in heavy armor?
Oh,
But I think that's you, William, because you still have the rug.
I have medium armor.
Oh, the rug is medium. Well, okay.
It's still pretty shit though.
come on.
I should roll for Hildy as well.
Yeah, don't bother after
Yeah,
this.
I was gonna say.
It really doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, the thing is
Probably
that
not
at
worth
least like you're not constantly making sound. You might kick a pebble or something, but yeah.
You don't even have heavy armor. You weren't supposed to roll.
Oh yeah, I just figured I'd start with the ones which are most likely to fail, and then if they succeed, you could have the rest roll as well.
Well, I don't think anyone failed, Arno. Well, that's a 2.
Yeah, it's a 2. It's disadvantage.
Yep. Pretty much.
Poor
He turns
elephant.
back around at you, and you sort of see him snarl at you a little bit, William, and you see him like gesture, like told them to be quiet, but not while saying no words.
I think we should probably stay a few paces back, gents.
And then he just beckons like run, and starts running down the corridor fast.
Oh, never mind. Just go quick.
I feel like he kind of gave me the evil eye for a second.
He runs up here and he speaks his name. After which he opens the door.
I think Mary's broken her leg or had a stroke.
No, I always wait till we stop. That's easier.
And just trailing behind you, looking over their shoulders every now and then at the back are the other two bugbears. You notice that there's concerned look in their face. They start running a little bit faster, and they actually they bypass Mary as they start running towards the front. As they're a little bit faster, and he beckons for all of you to come into the room.
How sincere does this beckoning appear?
He hasn't given you any reason to doubt him. If you want to check again, you can go ahead and do the inside roll if you want.
Now we find out there actually are
No,
hugbears.
it's okay, it's okay. Yeah, let's go in the Care Bear room.
And you notice
hello,
that there's
fellow.
a few strange glances as you enter, and then pretty soon after you notice that that Garrigax is approaching the toughest looking of the lot, and says to him, "Sorry for bringing these outsiders in. We were trapped for a long time, cut off, unable to get back. Managed to cull their numbers a bit, but still too many of them. Too well trained, these ones. Already some coming here now. Seem to be tailing us. These lot are not exactly quiet." And the what seems to be the chief sort of just nods quietly, says, "Get ready."
Sorry to interrupt. Did you say goblins are coming?
And Garrigar sort of looks at you and nods briefly as he makes his way to go and stand next to the door.
I think we're in for a fight, everyone, if you want to prepare yourselves. As I ready up. I'm ready in action.
Yep.
If it's all possible.
Yeah, that's fine. What do you want already?
I'm going to crossbow to the face of a goblin, preferably. Just going to move down here quickly, just double check the rest of the room, see what other entrances we have.
Yeah, I could just take a moment to describe the room to you.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to hole up with these guys down here and cover this door.
Yeah, me too.
To be less numbers.
I'm gonna ready an action to attack goblins if they come in here.
Yep. You notice it's a pretty big room as you've seen for the standards of this place. Very nice vaulted ceiling here and painted walls. Sort of this was pretty ornate once upon a time. And now you just see that there's a bunch of very angry, ready to fight bugbears that are seem to be pretty well armed as well, ready to strike at any goblins coming this way. And,
Quick question.
Yep.
The great axe I'm currently carrying, was that looted from a goblin or a bugbear?
From a bugbear.
Great.
The one shot in my back, I was looted from a bugbear.
But wasn't he fighting with goblins?
Well, I think you found 2 so far, right? So I'm not sure which one you're referring to.
I'm referring to the +1 I'm using that we got off the badass guy.
That's from a
Runes.
hobgoblin.
Oh, right, good.
The one I have is from a bugbear.
Yeah, you have the splint mail from him.
Yeah, and he's got another, like the great axe that you found next to the pit, that was in the hands of a dead bugbear.
Yeah. Well, we didn't kill him, so that's fine.
Yeah, thankfully so far all the bugbears that you have killed none have gotten away to tell the story, so. Anyway, so yeah, they're ready. They're getting ready to fight. Anything anyone wants to do to prepare?
What weapons does the big guy have? That guy.
The chief is actually wearing an incredibly large hammer. Like even for you, it would be a hassle to lift, probably, Isaac.
Cool hammer. I got this axe.
He sort of like glances at you and doesn't really say anything. Just seems to be getting ready.
Yeah, I ready an action to shoot a goblin.
I'm just going to ready an action to attack anything that steps into this space.
Yeah,
That's
same.
a goblin.
Okay, and so you stand at the ready, and you a few moments later, you hear some chinking of armor approaching through the through the door, and it stops. What seems to be some distance from the doors that you're at, and then hear some swearing. William, you understand that. Fuck, they got away again. Sneaky bastards. We're not going to attack them on their home turf. Come on, let's go.
What language do these guys speak?
Goblin?
Okay, so they understand it as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Just their perception isn't as good as yours.
Oh, they didn't hear it, right? I'll try moving close to this guy down here and relay the information to him that they're outside and it looks like they're going to retreat.
Says, it sort of looks at you and says, sort of points at the door and just like, let's fucking go.
Okay, I'll try and signal the same to the other guys at the far end of the room.
Okay. Need to move the whole wall there.
You what, sorry?
I accidentally grabbed the wall into the door, moving the dynamic lighting, which would not be good because that moves like half the region's dynamic lighting if I do that.
That wouldn't be good, yeah.
Right. On that note, I think this is a nice cliffhanger because this would take a while to resolve for next time. And I think we should leave it there.
Excellent.